Tuesday morning begins with the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bradford White Water Heaters bringing you the 6 a.m. hours. They always do because Bradford White is here for the pro. And we are live from Pagano's at One Bala Plaza this morning. A little fresh air coming in the front door. Coach has got everything set up. Connor's working out upstairs. We are set and ready to go today on a day after. A day after a lot of wake-up calls were delivered to every single person in town, I believe, who follows the Eagles. Because if you said you saw that coming last night, you're full of it. If you say you saw that kind of domination, that kind of complete effort, that kind of just utter dominance by the defense and utter star quality power of delivery from a guy like Jalen Hurts, you're lying. There should be no spiking of the footballs by anyone today. Oh, I saw that one coming. Sure you did. I've already woke up this morning to at least 6 or 7 emails of, what do you think of Jalen Hurts now? Look, I've always been on the fence. But one game's not going to swing me to, let's get him ready for Canton, just as one bad game like in Tampa last year wasn't going to swing me to, I don't believe in him anymore. I'll tell you one thing I believe about this Eagles team. I liked them last night going into the game, and I loved what I saw. It wasn't what I expected. 7 points for the Minnesota Vikings? Are you kidding me? I thought the defense would step up, and I said last night and even on the pregame show, I thought the defense would be the difference in the game and that the vitriol against the Eagles defense last week was a bit ridiculous. It proved true. Did I see that? Hell no. I don't think anybody did. But Jalen Hurts, he stole center stage. He was absolutely electric, patient, amazing. And I don't know about you, Bob Cooney, but that offense looked mighty different to me yesterday, and it's sort of what you and Jamie have been calling for all week long. It wasn't that constant RPO crap that we saw in Detroit.
No, it wasn't, and it's pretty cool to see that they were so diverse last night in their offense. And it was from the way they lined up, sometimes under center, sometimes shotgun. It wasn't RPOs all the time. The RPO last night was that word that I used a lot this week, John. It was a wrinkle, right?
Yes.
It was a wrinkle. They played Jalen Hurts as a quarterback last night. They didn't play him as a guy who can run, a guy who's an athlete, and we'll try this and we'll try that. They played him as a quarterback, and he played the part really, really well. And his accuracy was there. He actually looked a couple times different places and found maybe his secondary receiver. He faked one way, one another. I mean, they used everything that we called for this week. They used last night, mostly in the first half, and it led to them getting 24 points and just dominating the game and really just taking it over to the point of halftime that it was over by then. It was done.
Jamie, you were not on the fence. You were the first one out on Jalen Hurts. Will there be any time you will ask to pick up the towel to get back on the fence? The fence can handle us because we were all on the fence. Now, you jumped off, but the fence can handle it. You can jump right back onto that fence because I don't think one game should swing your entire opinion on Jalen Hurts.
No, not at all. But that was the best he's looked in his professional career by far. I don't even think it's close. He was perfect last night. The first half, he was perfect. I don't know what else to say except I look like an idiot morning.
You didn't look like an idiot other days.
It doesn't define his career by far yet, but, I saw things from him last night that I've wanted to see. All the questions about him. He was phenomenal. I mean, he looked like a guy that actually had that top 10 or 12 potential last night. Now, part of that was the offensive line, I thought, dominated the Minnesota Vikings front. And I thought he had, pockets and time, and it was great. It was a great team win. There was so much to like about last night. It might have been the Eagles' statement game. It's early in the season, but if you look back on this and the Vikings end up being a good team or a playoff team, they whooped their ass. There was not one aspect of the game that the Eagles didn't dominate.
Pat, domination.
You like domination, Pat?
Yeah, I was trying to get my mic out, but whatever.
What, domination?
No, that was cool. I enjoyed that viewing experience last night. I was out on Jalen Hurts, still out.
So you're still out. You're not picking up
yeah,
that
I'm not,
time. You're
going to
be defiant.
No, well, it's not defiant. It's one game. But, oh, my God, did he look good. I think at one point I yelled, Jalen Hurts shut me the F up in my house. So
sounds kinky.
I think that sounds like
I
see
just
T-shirt
myself.
potential.
It was after the long bomb to Quez that I said it.
It was
but
amazing.
He balled out.
That was a great
It
play.
was pretty much a flawless performance from Jalen Hurts. He was hitting guys over the middle. He was hitting multiple guys. He was going through progressions. It was like legitimately everything that you wanted him to do as a quarterback, he was doing. He was RPOing. He was standing in the pocket, taking hits, delivering strikes. Nothing bad you can say about Jalen Hurts today.
Shane Steichen called a game, though, that I've been waiting to see him call all the time, Bob, for Jalen Hurts. That game plan last night, Shane Steichen has never given him the opportunity to execute a game plan like that. He's given his chance. We get out of the high school Harry offense, and it looked good. He threw out of the shotgun last night multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, where's that been?
Without an RPO. I mean,
It's
just
unbelievable.
stand and throw. All I could think of during the game, and they kind of, I guess it was Troy Aikman pointed it out, the Minnesota Vikings play the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They do. They play that shell. They play that let's keep it in front of you. We talked about it yesterday and the day before we were saying, or yesterday rather. We were saying that the Eagles are going to go against a defense that they practice against all the time. And that's the kind of defense that usually Jonathan Gannon likes to do, where it's keep it in front of you, don't get beat deep, although they did get beat deep. But that was a very familiar defense, it seemed like last night, that Jalen Hurts was going against. And he was comfortable, and he was accurate, and he was good, and there was nothing. Look, he looked like a quarterback. We're calling for this, Jalen Hurts is an athlete, he's this, he's that, but he's not a guy that can throw the ball. I'll tell you what, he did last night.
Yeah, they let him do it. And that's one of the things, Jamie, that I can't understand is after seeing him execute it last night, and I know working with Tom House, and I had a couple people out of Atlanta who cover the NFL say to me on text last night, that's what Tom House does. He stepped up in the pocket under pressure, which I haven't ever seen Jalen Hurts do, and he was delivering the football with authority. And that was fantastic. I've never seen him throw the football like that.
Yeah, Ed Donatell's defense last night was what I expected to be bitching about Jonathan Gannon about this morning.
4th and 26, right?
Yeah,
Ed Donatel.
I don't know what they were doing. That would have driven me nuts if I was a Vikings fan last night because everybody seemed to get open. I mean, the difference A.J. Brown has made on this team is remarkable. He does seem to be open on every play. When he says, I'm always open, I kind of believe him. And then Devontae Smith, clearly they wanted to get him involved. It seemed easy for him, too. I mean, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, it looked like the Vikings had no idea who to cover or what to do. They seemed lost in the first half.
And I know, could we please have a moratorium on Justin Jefferson? Justin Jefferson. It's Justin Jefferson. He's going to get them for like 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. Can we just have a little he was dominated last night.
Yeah, he sucks.
He was dominated
Horrible.
last night.
Jalen Reagor was the
Which
right
is
pick.
delicious.
Yes.
No, it's not the right
Quez
pick.
Watkins.
But can we just have a moratorium, at least after that night, could we just have some sort of a moratorium on
Darius Slay had more catches than Justin Jefferson last night.
Oh, that's even better.
I mean, he held him to 7 yards.
That was
Good
unbelievable.
statistic.
That was one of the most dominating Eagles defensive back performances I've ever seen
You've
in my life.
you've been asking for it.
I've ever seen. I mean, he was
No, but you've been
unbelievable.
asking for them to play like they were up there.
Well,
and
imagine
they were
this.
in his face.
Jonathan Gannon trusted man coverage last night.
He did.
I mean, you had 4 cornerbacks that are capable. Bradbury was good. Avonte Maddox came up with a pick. I didn't hear Gardner Johnson a lot, but that's a good thing.
I thought he looked a little wandering around.
He was
I have to see what
blitzing.
they
He was
say.
kind of all over the place a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to say this though, Bob, is that one of the things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for some answers as to why all the wrinkles, as you put it, all of a sudden came out. Did they not trust that Jalen Hurts could do some of those things before? Like throwing out of the pocket, just him throwing out of the shotgun, just passing like every other quarterback in the NFL does. Where's that all been?
Well, what kind of was resonating with me, or the wonderment of me last night, was this. Did Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni game plan 2 totally different games? Like we thought, like we said during the week, I didn't like that they were 90% RPO, and Jamie said, look, that's the only kind of quarterback he can be.
No, I said they were going to his strengths.
Right. No, and you were
But
saying
maybe
that's
they
the
weren't,
offense
though.
that they could run with him, that's best for him. I'm not saying you were wrong. And we all were like, oh, man, that's not good enough. Well, it looks to me like that was the game plan against the Lions was RPO, and that's the way they thought that they could win against the Lions. And then last night they totally scratched that and said, okay, we're facing a familiar defense, one that you've seen every day in practice, one that Jonathan Gannon runs here. So now we're changing it from RPO to this. I thought last night was telltale not only for Jalen Hurts and all, but I thought that whoever called the offensive game plan did a really, really good job.
And, Pat, it scares me a little bit because
Why?
Because of the fact that they had to take play calling duties away from the head coach last year, whether he did it or whether management said you're doing it. And they talked about, well, we want to design game plans to play to Jalen Hurts' strength. Once they opened things up last night for Jalen Hurts, all of a sudden he looks like a different guy. Did they underestimate him all along? If he puts, let's put it this way, if he puts up 2 or 3 games in a stretch where he looks like that, we're talking about this in week 5, week 6, that he looks maybe not as dominant, but puts up excellent games. I'm going to tell you they mismanaged him all along.
Yeah, I mean, they'll tell you they brought him along slow. But yeah, I would probably tell you they mismanaged him all along. If we see more, if we see more of what we saw.
Nah,
last
you can't
night.
do hindsight with that. Last year he missed open receivers all the time.
Yeah, but they were running a high school Harry offense. They didn't put him in an offense.
You can't go back and say that.
Jamie, I can.
It's one game.
Jamie, I can because I saw him run that offense that he ran last night. I saw him run that at Oklahoma. I saw him run that at Alabama.
It's one
And they
game.
never trusted him to run it in the NFL.
It's one game.
I got you. But he was running an offense that was rudimentary.
It doesn't matter if a receiver's open. You hit the guy. I mean, for his entire career, there's been questions now. It's till the 25th game, and it's one game, and that's great. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but we can't go back and say, did they mismanage him?
No, you can. You can because
there's guys on the field. He's got to find them. I don't care what the offense
But
is.
there could be questions that you put him in a crappy offense, and when you put him in a more traditional offense, he looks very competent.
Again, it's one game.
Yeah, I'll go back to the familiarity with the defense. I really think that played totally into his hands last night. And look, kudos to the offensive guys that put the game plan in. Kudos to Jalen Hurts for performing the way he did. But that just seemed really, really – that was something we haven't seen before. So I don't know if we can go back and say, where was this all along, or – if everything just fell into place last night.
Today we are live at Pagano's at One Bala Plaza. This is our building where we normally are every day, but we're in the lobby this morning at beautiful Pagano's. You could come in off the street. We look forward to seeing you. I'm celebrating my remission day today, and Pagano's is...
How many years, John?
24 years.
Good for you, buddy.
Since that, and very, very happy to do that. And today we're doing it in association with the AACR, our official charity of the show, the American Association for Cancer Research. So here's the deal. Anybody who makes a donation in person at Pagano's today, just come and get your FanFest tickets. And you can also bid on some sports memorabilia we've got on display. And Jamie, some tasty breakfast, right?
Matt throws down for breakfast, so looking forward to that.
So, and also, anyone who makes a donation online, even if you can't come by today at Pagano's, via QR code right here in person, just go over the QR code, you can get the link, or by going to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. You make a donation today through midnight, you are going to be entered to win a Philly sports trip package for 2 to go see the Eagles and the G-Men in New York in December. Sounds like a winning proposition there, Pat. Pat, I could see you being a bus captain, for one of those trips. Maybe you'll be like bus captain of bus number 2.
I don't think anybody's...
You'll be on the Pat Egan bus.
I don't think anybody's following me into a fight.
The bus captain.
I think that's a desperate bus. I got to be honest.
I think the Pat Egan bus would be a fun bus.
I think I'd be the bus captain of the elderly people. So Ethel can follow me in her Razzie scooter. Mildred,
yes.
She gets down. Kind of hot. So I think I can be a bus captain of that crew. The Mike from Del Rans of the world, they're not really following me, and that's cool. I know my role.
Hey, so we appreciate the AACR. Make a donation today, 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Get a donation in, and you can maybe go on that trip with the absolutely fantastic folks from Philly Sports Trips. You can do that. In the Morning Mindbender, Coach says only 1 out of 10 Americans say they still do this every month. What is it?
Doubt Jalen Hurts.
Oh, no. I think it was actually more than that.
That's probably still more. It's only been one game, as Jamie says.
Jamie says one game. Let me see.
Once a month. So what's something you're supposed to do every month?
Balance your checkbook.
What?
Oh, that's not bad.
People do that?
There are people who balance their
don't
checkbooks
have a
like they're
checkbook.
great. I don't have a checkbook either.
I just wing it until I'm in trouble.
I just do it all online.
Until the red flags start popping up.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Notifications come.
Yeah, until you start getting the warning. Danger.
What are you supposed to do once a month?
What's
I was
once
gonna
a
say,
month?
like check your fire.
It's too often for the HVAC filter, right? That's like
Alarm.
once
Make-
every
How
2 or
about
3.
how about for people long-term married, Pat?
Make whoopee.
What's whoopee, Pat?
Make whoopee.
The sex stuff.
Oh,
James.
The sex stuff?
Uh-huh.
Once a month?
Once a month.
Wow.
1 in 10 Americans.
12 times a
10%.
year?
There's a lot of loveless marriages out there that are trying to get after.
Jamie, there's a lot of...
It doesn't
Trying to
say
find the
marriage,
spark.
though. It just says 1 out of 10
Yes.
Americans.
Oh, well, there's a lot of lonely
somebody
people out
like
there.
Connor would skew that like
I'm
big
telling
time.
you,
We're
the
talking
sex
10
stuff
times
is
a
the
day.
answer.
I'm going to go with car wash.
Wash
What?
their car once. That's not a bad one.
No, that is horrible, John. Don't placate the man. That's stupid.
All right,
You're
Coach.
telling me people are out here having sex 12 times a year?
Coach has got the
Great. Some
answer
people,
for you.
yes. Some desperate people. You got nuns.
Oh.
You got a lot of nuns. You got a lot of priests.
Jamie,
you
you're
know, a lot of
Jamie,
celibacy.
Jamie, you are one of them. You are one of these people. Only 1 out of 10 Americans writes out checks every month.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jamie, Grandpa over there,
Never written
still
a check.
writes out checks.
Where's my stamps? I need to send the bills.
He sends bills. He mails bills. Why do you do that?
I don't know. It's just,
Jamie's gonna end up being on my bus down in
I
New
don't
York.
mind it.
I don't trust mobile banking that much.
Why?
Trust
What's
mobile
about
banking.
you?
You be you.
Wait a minute, Jamie. Does your account have more than $250,000 in it?
Yes, probably. actually.
Because if it doesn't, you can trust it. It's completely insured. You never have to worry
I
about
don't
it.
like it.
You know what it was? Jeff,
think-
his buddy Jeff Bezos. You might
Yeah,
have
that's
heard
what
of him.
it is.
Lord
yeah.
Convinced him
Bezos.
that mobile banking isn't the way to go. Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban.
Don't trust these mobile banking,
Yeah,
these kids.
I don't
If
like
you
it.
have a quarter, just memo today, and this is from Grandpa Jamie and everybody else, as long as your individual account, and guess what? Every single one of your accounts is insured up to $250,000. You don't have to worry about it.
I like
Jamie,
supporting
you
the
can
post
trust-
office.
Good
No,
for
don't
you,
do
Jamie.
that.
You can
Yeah,
support
I
the
have
post
friends that
office in
work at the
different
post
ways.
office.
I
I'm
mean,
a big postal guy.
Good.
do you still put money under your mattress?
I'm serious.
no
In
personal
case
question.
the depression
Jamie
comes again?
Jamie writes a check for the tooth fairy. When the kids wake up to
I
a check.
Venmo her. I
Oh
mean,
my
let's not get
gosh.
silly.
Hey, the Phillies magic number, by the way, dropped to 13 last night. Let's go Mets. Pat won't say it, but
Oh,
we
hell
need
no.
it. For the next 2 games, we need to, again, let's go Mets. Max Scherzer last night pitches the Mets into the postseason, and the Phillies magic number down to 13. They'll play Toronto the next 2 nights, and the Mets will play 2 more with the Brewers. So, Jamie, you can do it. You've got a ton of Mets fans.
I was texting my Mets friends last night. Let's go Mets, as I've always said. Love you guys. Hope you have a great 3-game series here, and then the worst in the world happens to you. But yeah, I have no problem saying let's go Mets for these 3
Mets
games.
won, Braves won, so the dream scenario is alive, Pat. They're both winning. They are a game apart. Braves have played 2 less games, so that division race looks like it's going to go down to the wire, unless the Phillies wipe the floor with the Braves this weekend, which after last weekend, I'm maybe not expecting.
Not really expecting that at all, right? So
I'm a little nervous about that.
kind of expecting to play out the way that you laid out before the
That'd be
weekend
great.
of them just coming down, battling out. They can't set up their rotations, and next thing you know, Philadelphia Phillies World Series champions 2022.
That'd be fun.
Who says no?
You can't like the way the Mets won last night, though. I mean, Scherzer goes perfect for 6 innings.
Alonso hits a home run.
Oh, God. I mean,
Yuck.
Scherzer comes back, throws 68 pitches, and he's perfect for 6 innings, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, but I kind of expect that anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like
That's a pretty dominant performance coming back.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think, Bob, that's analysis on your part. Much like Pat Egan, a girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor, and an elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. So why don't you reach out and change their world? It will change your own. Go to unbound.org. Pat wanted to be a doctor, and he ended up with us here on the John Kincade Show. You didn't realize that. Pat, what kind of a doctor were you going to be?
he's
Was there
definitely
any-
a podiatrist. He's
You
a big
Pat's
foot guy.
Pat's a podiatrist?
Yeah, he's
Not-
got a
I'm
foot
gonna
fetish.
say
No,
OBGYN.
feet weird me out.
Nah, you got a
Feet-
foot fetish.
No,
Well, you can't be a
absolutely
podiatrist
not.
then.
OBGYN? Hell
No?
no.
No, that's tough work.
No,
man.
that sounds good on the surface, and then like,
Proctologist?
not at all.
No, God, no.
That's not what it is either.
Huh.
I had a buddy who became a urologist, and I asked him like,
A
what-
urologist?
Yeah, and I asked
Oh,
him like,
no.
at what point in your life did you say I'm going to dedicate my life to looking at tails?
And what was the?
He gave me an answer, and I was just so blown away by anybody choosing that profession that I blanked it out. I think it was probably the money, honestly.
There's good money in the penis.
Yeah, there's good.
Well, I think it's something that not a lot of guys probably want to go into that.
Yeah,
so that's probably what makes it a desirable field. You can charge more money because there's not a lot of guys looking at bums all day.
I don't want to. I mean, there's a lot of money in gay porn, but I'm not going into that, Johnny.
Never say never.
Pat,
that's a good point. That's a good point. If I get laid off,
that's sort of no pun intended.
If I get laid off, and
I didn't hear you say off.
And then all of a sudden Sally Mae keeps calling. She doesn't stop calling, boys.
Here's what Jalen Hurts last night after the game says that he remembered his last Monday Night Football experience. And it sort of set him up for that Monday Night Football experience last night.
Playing on Monday Night Football, I remember what happened the last time we played on Monday Night Football. I haven't forgot about that, and to be able to come out here and perform at a high level as a team, that's big for us. To perform at a high level and still leave so much money on the table. I'm sure y'all saw the little video in the locker room last week. It's exactly the same message this week in terms of the standard not being met. Like I said, we have a standard for ourselves, and it only rises. A hell of a game tonight, but there's a hell of a lot to learn from.
I love that answer. I love the fact that the standard's only going to continue to rise, Bobby. Bob, you've heard every cliche in every locker room in America.
Yeah.
But to me, for whatever reason, when Jalen Hurts says it, I actually sort of believe it a little bit more.
Well,
I think he lives it.
You get some athletes, some coaches that don't have the answer to your question already thought out. Many do, some don't. Jalen Hurts seems to be that guy that he listens and gives you a full, honest answer. And look, it's what all the players and coaches have said about him. Great guy, and he really does this and he does that. Well, as time moves on, he just continues to prove that he seems to be that hard worker. He seems to be the person that self-evaluates an awful lot and correctly. And that's not going to be a part of his game that we are going to be able to have fault with moving forward with him.
Do not put One Bala Avenue into your GPS today.
No, don't do that.
One Bala Plaza is where you want to come. We're here at Pagano's. I guess you just want to search Pagano's in Bala Cynwyd and you'll find us. And we will be here all morning doing the show. Come on by. Make a donation to the AACR. You could be going with Philly sports trips up to New York in December. And now that game takes on even more significance and excitement because, boy, the Eagles look really good. And we're going to get to who's on the hot seat. And the hot seat usually is about, putting people on call, on notice. Today, it might be a bit more introspective. We'll get to that next. It's the John Kincade Show. We are live at Pagano's at One Bala Plaza. Come on by and see us. We'll be here all morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I know this. I know Window Nation wants to save you some cash. And I know Window Nation is putting their best deal in front of you that you've ever experienced. How about this? It's 2022. Look at your iPhone. It's 2022 unless you're driving. I'm going to ask you not to pay anything until 2025. You're not even wondering what you're doing for breakfast, let alone knowing what you're going to be paying for in 2025. You're going to be making so much money in 2025. Right now, Window Nation's saying, we're going to give you those new windows for your house now, and you're not giving us anything. You're not paying any money down, you're not making any payments, and you're not paying any interest until 2025. Jamie's going to be even sexier in 2025. Think of all the things that will happen in the next 2 years. But he won't be paying for windows. No one pays for windows until then. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to lower your energy bills. You're going to raise the value of your home. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to love Window Nation. You can do your window shopping online at windownation.com. They're going to give you 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, so they cut the price in half. Do your window shopping online, then make the call to 866-90-NATION. Check out my friends at Window Nation. Best deal ever. You're not paying till 2025. That's 866-90-NATION.
Celebrate.
Pagano's in Bala Kinwood, One Bala Plaza. As I've already had one person in the DM say, One Bala Avenue? No. That'll get you to a totally different place, and there will be no radio show going on there.
Maybe that's where they want to go.
Maybe they're trying to avoid it. One Bala Plaza. It's Pagano's. Come on by. Make a donation today. We are celebrating along with the AACR an opportunity for you to make any kind of donation today. 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Make a donation today to help fund cancer research, and you will be in the hopper for a trip for two to go up and see the Birds play the G-Men in December. One thing that has to be cleaned up, boys, it's not all hearts and flowers this morning. There is something that has to clean up, and it seems like it is a repeat of last year. The Eagles, again, the second most penalized team in the NFL.
Well, some of those were crap last night. Some of those were absolute crap. Like the ineligible receivers downfield.
Why is that? It was not. They showed the line. It's a call.
The refs were being nerds.
Yeah, it was kind of like the ticky-tackness of. It just seemed like the refs came out there with an agenda to call that.
When the team constantly does it,
but
the refs are on alert. Like, Bob, the NBA refs hey, this team does this all the time. They're tipped off to it, and they watch for it. The plays were not – they were penalties. Whether it's ticky-tack or not, they were.
Yeah, but it's like going 27 and a 25. Like, yes, technically you're breaking the law, but do you really need a ticket for it? I mean, I guess if your quota's coming up, sure.
Yeah, the best thing that
to our members of law enforcement, we love you.
Well, they know.
We love you.
They know
here.
what's up.
So when the Lower Merion Police Department rolls in here this morning, it's Pat
They're good
Egan.
people. They're
He's
good
sitting
people.
here.
They got quotas.
It is the end of the month coming up, so it's probably not a good time to say it. But yeah,
the refs were a little too noticeable early last night. The illegal man downfield seems to be a problem with the Eagles.
They don't correct
last year and this year, and yeah, I agree with you. The refs probably are on high alert for it. It's like in the NBA, a Jerry Sloan team, they foul 60 times a game, but you can only call 30 of them. Otherwise, the game will never end. So do the Eagles continuously try to do it to get an advantage? Maybe. You got to watch what you're doing. Yeah, the penalties are concerning. The good thing about last night was the Eagles got that big lead early, and I think when that happens, referees are kind of more want to keep the flags in their pants.
Let's get...
Jeez.
I didn't think about it that way. You mean in their pockets?
School's back in session.
Or in their pants?
No, see, a lot of them keep it in their waistband because it's easier access.
I pulled that move in high school.
That was what you did. That's where you kept it.
I'll tell you, I got real sick of that.
You kept it in your waistband?
I got real sick of that Skeletor-like ref last night.
Yeah, what was that about?
I couldn't stand him.
Somebody get him a sandwich.
I don't like him at all.
I mean, honestly, he's looking a little less healthy than Tom Brady at the moment.
Like, to my point, you usually don't hear that in a game, right?
Correct.
Not only did you hear it multiple times, you heard it for both teams.
You did.
Like, there was an agenda. They went out there and they were like, not on my watch, scumbag.
Well, I didn't know they were calling people scumbags.
They did. You couldn't hear you in the press box.
All right, so the hot seat comes your way from H&H Heating and Air Conditioning.
Yesterday's game has everyone talking, but one person is on the hot seat. Let's find out who.
Well, I think that's a little false advertising because there's more than one person on the hot seat today. It is actually every single one of us.
That's cool.
Every one of us on this show, every single one of you in your fan group, every single one of you in your family when you get together for dinner, every one of you who has literally went over the top in your critiques of one knee-jerk game against the Detroit Lions last week. We all did it. We absolutely did it. I did it. I'm guilty. And I thought the Eagles were going to win last night and felt great about it all week, and I still was wrong. The Eagles, the reactions to the Detroit game were so over the top, and the Eagles' defense last night showed out and showed what they can do. Can they get better? I guess they can. I don't know how much better it can get than last night because that was pretty amazing stuff. But for the Philadelphia Eagles today, this is a big day of them saying, you know what? Sort of like we say at 9 o'clock on Friday mornings, just shove it. Jalen Hurts is saying it to his doubters. The Eagles' defense is saying it to their doubters. Jonathan Gannon is just sipping the tea like Kermit the Frog this morning, just enjoying himself. As Aaron Rodgers tried to teach all of us years ago when he was on some peyote,
ayahuasca,
mind melt, whatever he is.
Mushrooms.
He is a greasy hair, whatever he's doing. It is the idea of relax. The overreactions to week one, and everybody to some degree was guilty of it. Every single one of you, and that includes myself. We are all in the hot seat today because maybe we'll learn a lesson. Maybe we'll learn a little bit about how to consume the NFL and to not overreact. Thanks, H&H Heating and Air Conditioning.
I don't think we overreacted. I think they were all legitimate questions that we had coming out of the Lions game. They went 9. They did a total 180 last night. I mean, they played a game.
They did.
They game planned with an NFL quarterback. Game one, they game planned for an athlete playing quarterback, and that's why I have to give kudos to whoever's coming up with the offensive game plan, whether it's Shane Steichen or Nick Sirianni, because they game planned both of those games perfectly right. It doesn't mean we were wrong about the questions we had after Detroit, because that's what we were believed that we saw, and we were correct. Like, look, we weren't wrong in all the things that we questioned about
I heard
Detroit.
Jonathan Gannon should be fired over and over on our radio station from some of our hosts that he should be fired.
Name names,
From,
coward.
well, guess
don't
what?
start saying
you can
some
listen.
of our
You can listen.
No,
There's
no,
plenty
but I
of
don't.
shows.
But I don't. So
well, you
name
should.
names.
You should listen.
Name names.
You should listen more often. I'm just going to suggest.
Name names.
There are callers that call this station on what seems like a daily basis that are also Jonathan Gannon. He's just everybody. I mean, there's extremes. It sucked, Bob. Last week sucked against Detroit. And the thing is, the people who are calling for Jonathan Gannon to be fired, you look stupid. You look stupid. There's a reason he is a hot commodity in the NFL. There's a reason, because people understand the guy knows what he's doing. Did he know it last Sunday? He looked terrible in Detroit. Last night, he looked like the best defensive coordinator in the NFL last night. He had the best defensive coordinator week of any team in the NFL last week. So where the truth lies, Bob, probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
Somewhere
mean?
in the middle is
Somewhere
where
in the
it
middle.
is. And if next week he gives up 330 yards and 38 points to Carson Wentz, you know, the questions will be running rampant once again. Last night didn't
Carson
answer
Wentz
anything.
is second in the NFL in passing.
Yeah, I
yards.
saw
that.
Like first in touchdowns.
And 2 is number
How
1.
many interceptions? 3?
Yeah, he's got 3.
yeah.
I think
And a
he's got
fumble.
3. And a fumble. Yeah, he's already given the ball away. He loves that.
Yeah, I'll get into it later about what I think was the biggest reason the defense was good last night. But, Gannon had a good game. He did well last
And
night.
Jalen took his doubters and said, shut up.
Sure, but that's how you're going to be judged, is week to week. And rightfully or wrongfully, if you're going to go too far one way or too far the other, yes, it lies somewhere in between. I'm still not convinced that Jonathan Gannon's a good defensive coordinator in this league. I think he had a good game last night.
I'm not doing 20/20 hindsight. I couldn't believe the way people were talking about the Minnesota Vikings leading up to that game. I was hearing them like they were the Packers, like they were some dominant team coming in there. They're a team that can't win on the road.
Well, I think it just had more to do with how the Eagles looked against Detroit.
Oh, I absolutely believe
know,
that. That's what I'm saying. And we all overreacted
But,
in some way, shape, or form.
Sometimes, John, as the kids say, you F around, you find out. And some people like me, we F'd around, and we found out
And
who
we
the Eagles
learned
were.
out. We all
and it
found
was
out.
awesome. I mean, it was so much fun to watch.
Hey, let's check out our juror contributions. We've got our jurors checking in. Thanks to our friends at the personal injury law firm of Flager and Associates, who cares, prepares, and wins. Visit FlagerLaw.com. Connor Thomas, let's hear from some of our jury members.
All right, so first up we have Ann from St. Pete.
Hi, it's Ann in St. Pete reporting for jury duty. What a fun game to watch. It really was a complete team win, with Hurts getting the ball to 8 different receivers. Miles Sanders had some nice runs. Gannon adjusted. Slay was unstoppable, and the Eagles dominated the time of possession. Now, we can't get too high off this win because Washington and Wentz are waiting, and we don't want to have a letdown game. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Great job. Great job from the start there. I love the measured approach that Ann took.
Well, Ann also made a great point that we haven't hit on yet. The way Jalen Hurts went to different receivers last night
What was it, 8?
absolutely
8 receivers.
phenomenal.
Okay, that's unreal.
He was just finding the open guys. He was finding the right guys, and that leads to us saying he was a professional NFL quarterback last night. I thought that was one of the more spectacular things about him.
Where do we go, Connor, for juror number 2?
Next, let's go to Brian, our juror Brian.
This is juror Brian Weiler, and wow, do we have a squad. Jalen was so impressive. The 26-yard touchdown run was electric. the pocket the O-line gave him and then throw to Quez. Got to give hats off to Jonathan Gannon. Under the radar play of the game was the tackle by the punter Sipsis, and then my new favorite player, Slay. Quite possibly one of the best performances I've ever seen a cornerback play in Eagles history. All due respect to all those older guys. Go Birds.
I got to say that was the best game arguably I've ever seen a corner play for the Eagles.
Sipsis.
Considering he went and did
Sipsis
he,
the
was there a
god.
disease? Isn't Sipsis
That was a big tackle.
Isn't Sipsis what
huge.
ends up in the hospital when you get like an infection?
That's sepsis.
That's sepsis.
See, clearly you're not a doctor.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'd love to play one on TV. though.
Sepsis, Sipos, who cares? You know, he's
That
great
was
to
a,
win.
that's an amazing
Bang,
play.
bang, bird gang.
If he is not the special teams player of the week in the NFL, that's the special teams player of the week.
Well,
He saved a touchdown.
the special teams player of the week should have been the guy who blocked it.
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, but I mean, you come out
Oh,
and
Pat Pete.
you run down a play like that.
Which, man, that ended up costing me like $40.
Oh, did it?
I had a one-game parlay, and
Oh,
the only
jeez.
leg to miss was I had birds over 26.5.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I cashed in quite a bit there, Johnny.
Yeah, you did. You took care
I'm
of your
good.
business. All right, third up, Connor.
Let's talk to Dante, our other juror.
What's up?
What's up, guys? Dante from the Northeast here. I was at the game, and all I got to say is Jalen freaking Hurts, man. He balled out, played really, really well. I love what I saw. Only criticism I have of him for tonight is that he did not go through a bunch of his reads and his progressions like I would have liked him to. Plenty of times I've seen him go to his first progression and then just go right to the check down.
I want to see that, what Dante said, I do want to see that in the 15-minute game because it did seem like he was quick on the trigger finger, but he was successful. So I find that hard to criticize.
I gotta say,
I find that hard to criticize when you're
first-
successful.
My first reaction to Dante is, wow, that's a little nitpicky.
Yes.
Like, that's a little nitpicky. It was there. Look, the defense that they run is a very much, you're not going to beat as deep, although the Eagles did.
Like a shell?
Yeah, it's going to be left there in front of you. And look, Jalen Hurts didn't have to look at a second receiver because his first one was wide open most times, and he did a great job of finding them.
Yeah.
Dante, love you to death. That's a little nitpicky to me.
I couldn't, and Dante's my guy. I couldn't
Yeah, I love
disagree- I
Dante.
couldn't disagree with the call more. I thought he went through his progressions. I thought, and also, if your first read is open, what are you supposed to do? Just go through your second, third progressions just for the sake of doing it? No, you're going to hit the open guy. He did that. I mean, you don't.
There's
hit-
not a need to go on the progression tree.
Yes, and you don't
when
hit,
the play is drawn up and it works.
you don't throw past 8 different people without going through some progressions.
I thought he
You
looked
just don't. I mean,
brilliant.
He played a pretty much flawless game. It was great.
I think it was because he was in the shotgun, Jamie, and he was allowed to pass out of the shotgun. The Eagles finally realized, wait a minute, there's tape of him doing this at Alabama and Oklahoma. You know what? We can do this in the NFL. He can throw the ball from the shotgun.
Well,
it's
I mean-
amazing. We don't have to run an RPO for him to pass.
Well, it's apples and oranges. I mean, the Detroit Lions got a lot of pressure on them. They did a really good job of collapsing pockets, and Aiden Hutchinson was a beast. And last night, the Vikings defense stunk.
It was so bad.
I
man.
mean,
Oh my gosh.
It sucked.
Like, to me, they're apples and oranges. And, as I said in the preseason, I want to see this team look different week to week because they should be exploiting the other team's weaknesses and trying to impose their strengths. So if they look different and it's a different style of victory every week, that's great.
Hey, Temple football battles UMass this Saturday at 2 o'clock at Lincoln Financial Field. All kids in 8th grade and younger,
I can pass.
or if Pat Egan can pass for it.
I can pass.
They can score a touchdown on the field after the game as part of parent-child touchdown toss day. So you're going to need a bigger kid
I just need
to
someone
go
to
with
play.
you.
Jamie, you want to play my dad?
No, Liv will be there. Liv will be there. She'll throw you the ball.
She can't play my mother. She's too young.
She'll be there.
I'll have Bob show up. Yeah, Bob. I'll shave.
He
and
can't
Bob-
play your mother either.
No, he can play well in this.
Well, hey, kids' tickets are only $10. Visit alstix.com. Make a donation to the AACR today, by the way. We are live at Pagano's at 1 Bala Plaza, and we appreciate the folks from Pagano's opening up early for us today. You make a donation today at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. To the American Association for Cancer Research. You're going to be in the hopper to win a trip to New York to see the Birds play the Giants with Philly Sports Trips on a bus. Pat Egan is not set up to be the bus captain, though. Judas and I are bus captains this weekend.
The bus. Look, I'll be a bus captain, but as we said, it'll be with Esther and Ethel and Miriam, Estelle, and then Jamie. It'll be all the old people in their Razzie scooters. That's just my crowd. That's the crowd that I can rally. You know?
Rally?
Let's move on.
All right,
610. How about that game last night? That was fun.
Hey, 610-632-0975. You want to get into Cooney's Corner. Bob's always looking for this. Insert joke here.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
What are you always looking for, Bob?
And it's kind of what Dante did, the nitpicking stuff.
You're getting
choked up over here, man. It's okay.
It was such a good game.
Birds won.
Yeah, I do. I look for perfection all the time. Every play, every quarter, half, whatever it may be. And I get to halftime last night, and I'm starting to take notes on the game, getting ready for today's show. Honest to God, guys, I couldn't find anything wrong with that first half last night. And Jamie, I think it was you, Jamie. You said to me today when we were walking in, you said, "Is it wrong that it was nothing in the second half?"
No, it just felt weird that you dominated them that much and you only got 24 points.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's not a complaint.
Jamie's killing me
No,
this
it's
morning.
not a complaint.
You are killing me this morning.
Why do you hate the Eagles?
That's not a complaint. It's
Yeah,
just, it feels like it should have been more.
You are actually quantifying every single compliment.
I almost felt like last night, it's like almost egotistical. Like you sit there and you think, oh my God, were they listening to the show this week when we said, can we get some diversity in that offense?
No.
Can they please spread the ball around? Can they do this? Can they do that? Everything that we were asking for, they did in that first half last night. And I just thought it was, and I'm just talking offensive side of the ball for now, I could not nitpick anything wrong in that first half that they did. I totally came away with, even in the drive that led to the field goal to end the half, where it looked like, all right, why aren't you calling a timeout at the beginning? Then they got a couple long gains and they called timeout and it set up for the field goal. Even that was better than I thought it should have been or was going to be.
No, I got something that happened that was negative. I wrote it down.
Oh, my God.
33 seconds left in the first half was the first time Jalen Hurts threw a bad pass.
That
was a bad pass.
Well, it took that long to see one.
The fact that it took, basically 2 full quarters for me to go, that was a bad pass for Jalen Hurts, tells you how good of a game he had.
He started 11 for 11.
Bob,
He was
I got to tell
incredible.
you, the two scoring plays that he did right before halftime last week and right before halftime this week maybe were my 2 favorite drives of the season, just because situationally, especially in a hurry-up type situation, Jalen Hurts is showing that he's really good at it.
Yeah, and it was weird because I think last night going in on that final drive before half, they ran the ball first. They got a good gain, and they didn't call a timeout right away. And then they threw it, and then they called timeout, and they were
Minnesota
like, okay,
called timeout.
We can, yes, exactly.
Which is dumb.
Shout out to Kevin
Again.
Connell for that one.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kevin. Fake
So-
Delco guy.
Is that where he's from, Delco?
No, his parents are, his grandparents are, and he fakes it and says he's from North Jersey, and he claims to be from Delco.
So you
like he has
probably know
Delco
him.
roots. You do not have Delco roots, Kevin.
I don't think
You're not
anybody
allowed to
You didn't
claiming.
grow up on the mean streets of Broomall.
Yeah, if
Give me a
somebody wants to
break.
claim Delco, let them have it.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, my sister
He's
texted
not. No,
me.
Jamie, as a Delco
Let him
person,
have it.
screw him.
If he feels like a Delco
He's from
person,
North Jersey.
maybe he
gotta
flies
have-
a Delco flag in his yard.
He's got to have some ties down here because my sister texted me
His grandparents.
that one of her friends were there, were guests of his last night because they know his parents.
His grandparents and parents.
I'm glad he had family in the stands to watch him up close and personal.
Yeah.
Get his ass whooped.
Yeah, it did. And that, like I said, that first half, I don't mind it being 24/7. I don't mind you riding out the second half. Like, you're not that Buffalo Bills team that just goes, we're up 14-7, watch this, and boom, next thing you know, it's 41-7. Like, I don't mind it dominating the first half, and then the second half you kind of ride out. Now it gets a little dicey when you throw a pick near the end zone and all of those things. But I really, in that first half especially, couldn't find anything to nitpick about.
That was so awesome that you couldn't. Now, who peed in Jamie's coffee? Tyrone wants to know, and it's not our Tyrone. Who peed in Jamie's coffee?
What's wrong?
I think he's saying you're finding a disclaimer for every positive you say. There's something like, well, Minnesota sucked. Their defense sucked.
I thought their defense was trash last night.
I think the Eagles' offense made it look like trash.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
both can
lead
be-
with that.
I think both can be true.
Well, do I have to say that they dominated the game last night? They dominated the game.
People want to hear that, Jamie. They wanna
Anybody
hear
with
it from you.
eyeballs can see that the Eagles absolutely dominated the Vikings.
Hey, let's see what Craig in Point Pleasant, that's in New Jersey. Craig joins us on The Fanatic. Craig, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I was at the game last night, and after the first half, I just shook my head and said, I haven't seen this I can't even remember the last time I've seen this. But It's
Oh,
game
jeez.
2. No. It's great. It's great. It's game 2. Were we that good, or was Minnesota that bad?
All right, Craigie. Here's the thing, and we love you, Craig. I got to tell you though, I
don't.
can't do that. I can't do this morning.
No, he's a Mets fan.
I can't do it this morning. After hearing for a week that the Minnesota Vikings were some titan coming in here that was going to beat the Eagles, everybody was scared of the Vikings and everything. I cannot hear today, are the Vikings just not that good? I can't hear that. No, the Eagles were that good, and they made this team that you built up to be a Super Bowl contender into a bunch of putzes last night.
Said it all during this week that they were Super Bowl
Oh, my God, I heard
contenders.
everybody scared of the Vikings this past week. I don't have amnesia. It was there. Every single day I heard how the Vikings, oh, man, the Vikings, they're really good. This is really good.
Well, I think it's fair to just. I mean, look, we're 2 weeks in the season, so it's fair to question if teams are really good or not, or how good is this team and that, because there's very few teams in the NFL right now that you know for certain if they're good or they're not.
But I don't want to hear
the Vikings
today.
And the Eagles are two teams where you go, I don't really know who they are.
But I don't want to hear today if you told me last week that you should got to be scared of the Vikings, scared of Kirk Cousins, scared of Justin Jefferson, and they went out and kicked their ass up and down the field last night.
Awesome.
Last thing I want to hear this morning is, well, are the Vikings that good? No, you told me last week they were that good. You were scared to death of them. This whole town was.
The Eagles being good and the Vikings possibly sucking can both be true.
They can
I
both
think
be
they
true.
made them look terrible
That's
last night.
a strong possibility, and we'll see. That's why it's 2 weeks into a season and nothing's definitive yet. But there's nothing not to like about last night.
I think Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon and Nick Sirianni coached circles around.
They did.
Around that Viking staff.
Steichen had a great night.
Like the fact that the Vikings just did not adjust at all in the second half. We talked about Jalen Hurts. He literally did that's the best he's ever looked.
The two guys under the brightest lights last night, under the hottest seats, said, you know what? We're going to take it to the house. And they did. We'll get to that next. We are live at Pagano's One Bala Plaza. Come on by. Help celebrate with us. It's a John Kincade show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm thrilled. 24 years cancer-free for me. I can hardly even remember the day that I rang the bell. But I can tell you this. The AACR thinks about it every single day. Not me, but they think about helping you ring the bell someday when you are faced with a cancer challenge. They are the best. They help to support over 50,000 researchers worldwide that are working to find the latest cures, the latest breakthrough. All kinds of things to help people with cancer live better lives, maybe survive longer, and maybe one day get us to a cure. So here's what I want you to do today. Make a donation online at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. You can even do it here in person. If you donate today before midnight, make a donation, you're going to be automatically entered to win a Philly sports trip package for 2 to see the Birds play the Giants in New York. So donate now. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Do it in honor of someone who's fighting cancer right now, someone who lost their battle, or a friend or family member like me who's damn happy to be here. We love the AACR. We love them. They do great work because cancer research saves lives.
Celebrating 24
Clock hour live from Pagano's John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. 7 o'clock hour is brought to you by the all-new Bet Parks app. Sportsbook and casino in one sleek, easy-to-use app in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. $750 risk-free bet. Use the promo code Kincade.
Yeah, I have a problem, John. I suck.
My five-leg parlay last night that I gave out on the pregame show, it lost by 12 yards on A.J. Brown's total yardage. I hit 4 out of the 5, and A.J. Brown's total yardage cost me by 12 yards.
I text my wife. I voice text my wife last night to say I accidentally said put down money on Jalen Hurts and the over yardage. So she did it, and then I saw it, and I said, I didn't mean Jalen Hurts over. I meant Miles Sanders over rushing yards. She's too late. I already put that one in, but I'll put the other one in too. So we wound up winning both of them.
I hit both of those. I hit Jalen Hurts' first touchdown of the game.
Oh, yeah, you said that yesterday, I think.
And you love that one.
Easiest money you can get is Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. But I put a little bit of money on his first touchdown of the game. You guys are lucky I'm here today. I won so much money last night.
Well,
you guys are lucky. I'm gracing you with my
win or lose money. I'm always lucky.
Pat,
I should be on an island somewhere.
Pat, I would tell you that I won $47.75 last night.
Okay, big spender.
Let's just say that
Okay.
hey, look, I
there's
wager.
there's the donation button. There.
I wager responsibly. Yeah, you can donate here online. You can go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, benefiting the American Association for Cancer Research. Donate today. You can come on by at Pagano's at One Bala Plaza. Grab yourself a delicious breakfast, right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Calling for there?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Bob, you had your coffee already?
Oh, the coffee's great. The surroundings great. I can't wait for the smell of the breakfast coming up soon. Oh, it's the place to be.
Well, it's nice, too. We have some of the Peter and Stan groupies. From the Beasley family.
Aren't they on vacation? Didn't they get a?
No, they didn't get to go on vacation with Carter. They didn't get to go with him.
I saw fire trucks, fireworks. I think the president came by to shake his hand before he left.
Yep.
A lot of money was spent saying goodbye to somebody going on vacation.
Jim Kenney said he can't wait to not be mayor so he can be Carter from the Peter and Stan show.
I can't wait for him not to be mayor. 6'1".
I would say that too. Last night, here's a couple. We talked about it from the pregame show last night. I really wanted to see Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith. That's what I was hoping for. See Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith get involved in the offense. Boy, they got involved in the offense last night. And I don't know what changed, but it was perfect. And Devontae Smith, as Pat talked about, especially after that Tampa game last year, guys, open all night long. Devontae Smith was uncovered last night. And I'm not trying to take away from his performance, but nobody covered him all night.
He was like a Jersey diner, open all night long.
There you go.
Yeah, we said the words a lot yesterday that they might try to force the ball to Devontae Smith. They might try to force the ball to Quez Watkins after the week that A.J. Brown had against Detroit. There was no forcing of anything last night, I didn't think, by Jalen Hurts. It was just different guys open all the time. Great play calling, great execution. Again, I'll say it. That was an offense last night that I didn't know they were capable of. I didn't know that they were capable of calling it if Jalen Hurts was able to execute it. And all of those questions were answered. Now, again, against what seemed to be a very, very soft defense.
But again, though, Jamie, the idea what Bob just said there, no idea of that offense because we hadn't seen it. We saw the high school Harry offense for a year and a game. We never saw that offense. All of a sudden, you put him in an offense that he ran at times at Alabama, that he ran at times at Oklahoma, that got him to be in the Heisman discussion, got him into college football playoffs.
This is revisionist history. Remember the first 6 games last year?
Okay.
They threw the ball 50
They were asking.
times.
Well, they don't. That last night they weren't asking him to throw 50 times.
And then they realized. Well, yeah.
Last night, at one point,
but you're acting like Jalen Hurts has had this in him the entire time. Last night was kind of like a coming out party. It was his statement game. It was the best game of his career. But this was a guy they asked to throw the ball 40-plus times.
64 plays in last night. It was 33 runs, 31 passes. That's not what they did last year. What they did last year is have Jalen Hurts throw the ball 75% of the time, which was stupid. They didn't do this last year.
Yeah, but you're acting like they didn't have him in shotgun and ask him to throw the ball. That's what you're insinuating.
No, because they weren't running the football last year. This year they ran the football. Last night, 66 plays in, you would actually run the ball more than you threw it. And it's amazing what you do with balance and with a little expertise there and letting him run an offense that he already has run.
I think this is complete revisionist history by you. I do.
We'll see if Nick Sirianni believes the same thing. He talks about Jalen Hurts and how much work he puts in, and he thinks that the game is changing for him.
I mean, that might be true.
I think the game's slowing down for the coaching staff.
Yeah, I think on what you guys were going back and forth with, you're both kind of right. Like, he averaged in those first 7 games last year 37 passes a game. He threw it 34 last night. But so to Jamie's point, yeah, he threw it a lot last night, but he was successful last night.
He got better.
To your point, John, I thought they did a better job of mixing in the run than they did last year.
Completely.
When they had him throwing so many times. So I don't know if it was a combination of, as I said before, the familiarity that the Eagles seem to have with the Vikings defense because it's similar to what they run. I think everything came together last night, including a very good performance by Jalen Hurts.
The Nick Sirianni talked about the fact that last week the defense, well, it didn't answer the bell. But this week, well, different story.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't up to our standard last week. All the defense players will be the first ones to tell you that. And our job as coaches to put them in the best position we possibly can. And so that was an important bounce-back game for us defensively. And I think that, again, it was a full team defense. Yeah, I mean, we talk about Slay, the job you did on Jefferson, but the coaches putting the guys in the right position and the salt of the pocket that our front guys and our front 7 really got with some of the pressures. And then when it was 4-man rush.
How do you like the no huddle last night, guys? How'd you like them when they were going no huddle, trying to keep Minnesota's from substituting on defense?
I love it. It shows a confident coaching staff. It says, okay, they have personnel in there that maybe we can do this, that, and the other against, so let's go no huddle so we can keep them out there. It's similar to if I'm going against the Eagles and I see Jordan Davis out there, I would go no huddle sometimes. He only got 21 snaps again last night.
Can't believe it.
A lot of it probably because you're down 24, you're up 24-7 at halftime. You know the other team's going to pass a lot. So,
but I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah, but if I'm an opposing coach, though, if I can get that mismatch where Fletcher Cox is in there on rundowns, I'm going to try to keep him in there if I want to run the ball. If Jordan Davis is in there, I want to try to keep him on the field so I can throw the ball. I thought the Eagles did a good job of that last night.
I love the fact that that was a great bounce-back game, serious bounce-back game for Fletcher Cox. He was fantastic. I mean, he made some plays last night. He stripped the ball at one point.
Him and Josh Sweat each got a sack. Fletcher got the strip there. It was great to see.
Jalen Hurts through 2 games is 20th in the NFL in pass attempts. Last year he was first through 2 games. This year he's 20th. That's the difference. There's balance this year. The coaching staff is balancing. There is a balanced approach, and they're taking it, and it seems to be working, and it seems to be benefiting. Now, can you translate that to the Washington game? As Jamie says, 1 game. Can you translate it to Washington? Can you translate it to Jacksonville? Jamie, what I would tell you is they better sure as hell be able to do that. I mean, against Washington and Jacksonville the next 2 weeks, you better be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm supremely confident in next week. I was before the Vikings game, now even more so. I just think they're a better team than Washington, and you'll see that on Sunday.
What did that line move? Have you checked yet what the line has moved to? Yesterday, you could have bet the Eagles -4 at Washington, and I wondered if overnight after that performance things changed a bit, whether the odds makers got a little more frisky with the Eagles, because I still think it's dangerous. I don't like the Sunday after Monday, Bob. I'm not a fan of the Sunday after Monday. There always seems like there could be some little dead legs. You're going on the road.
Yeah, you got to watch it. You have one more day off, so you're a little bit behind that way. But the Eagles came out last night. It looks pretty much unscathed. Everybody seems healthy. Slay it looked like he was, favoring a hip a little bit.
Yeah,
or
I think it was
like
his hip on that one missed interception.
Yes.
And then the next play.
And then gets it again.
Yeah.
He could have had like 4 or 5 last night.
He really could have. It has to be imperative that they aren't super confident going into Washington next week. We all can be. That's fine. But they can't be. This can't be a trap game for the Eagles. You have Doug Peterson coming in the week after. you got to take care of business down there next week, and that's what good teams do.
Pat won't be a bus captain, but you'll be there in spirit because you guys will be doing the pregame show on Sunday morning.
Yeah, it should be a good time. In fact, we want to talk about, what is this team and are they going to be good and concerns? No, we can just talk about them beating up on Washington. So it
Line's
should be
4.5.
So it is. So now they added the hook.
That'll grow.
So I got to think that's moving.
That's going to get up to 6 by the time.
If you're an
kickoff.
Eagles fan, you lay the points today, right?
Yeah.
You go to your betting app of choice and you go and lay the
would.
points today.
Yeah.
Before that line moves. But everybody's feeling good this morning. You want to get in with us, you can too, at 610-632-0975. We are down here at Pagano's at the beautiful One Bala Plaza. So come on by, grab yourself some breakfast, get some coffee, hang out with us. Make a donation to the AACR. You can do it by scanning the codes on the boards right that we got out here. You can put in a bid on some memorabilia, if you wish, that can help the proceeds, portion of the proceeds helping to benefit the AACR. And everyone who makes a donation today at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR or donates here in person can be entered to win a trip to see the Birds versus the G-Men in New York. So we look forward to having you come on out and do that this morning. In the linchpin, Jamie thinks he may look a little dopey this morning, or dopier than usual.
Yeah, not much could have gone better last night in terms of guys I had question marks about, and that's Jonathan Gannon and Jalen Hurts. Both of them were great last night. They really kind of calmed some fears I had internally about the season. You know how I get when the hype train takes off. I kind of start to hate it a little bit.
You get scared.
I do. I go home and cry. And
takes a man to admit that.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm in a safe space where I can admit that.
You're amongst friends.
Yeah.
It happens.
But
no one's listening.
Those were by far and away, Jonathan Gannon 1, Jalen Hurts 2, the biggest question marks I had with the Eagles. And last night was a huge stride in calming those. You said last night in the pregame show, is there anything that can happen tonight that can kind of move you one way or the other?
Right.
And I said, yeah, they could. If they went out there and handled the Vikings, that means that Jalen Hurts probably had a good game and that Jonathan Gannon was able to figure out Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. And both those things happened. I'm not going to start screaming Super Bowl yet, but I definitely think they're probably one of the top 3 teams in the NFC.
Save that for the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
if you would,
I mean, they're going to have a chance to compete. He was phenomenal last night. Both of them were. And it's just nice to have your questions kind of answered this early into a season a little bit. It's not the complete picture yet.
No.
But it was a huge stride towards answering it.
Is there anything you think that's not sustainable that you saw last night?
I mean,
is he going to spread it around to 8 different receivers every game? Probably not.
No. But I mean,
I don't think you can keep Justin Jefferson types in check every single week. But last night they did.
Do you think you can come with a balance like that? Like where they stayed balanced. They were balanced from the first snap of that game.
I think you should strive to. I mean, obviously that keeps defenses on their toes if you're going all over the place. He's releasing the ball last night, and I'm thinking, okay, A.J. Brown. And we're getting Zach Pascal, and we're getting Dallas Goedert, and we're getting running backs, and everybody is getting open. Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, obviously. I think last night was a recipe, or it should be a recipe, of what the Eagles should try to do for the rest of the season. Now, was it a case that the Vikings defense just laid in perfectly to the Eagles' plans last night? Could be, but I don't care who the defense is or what they scheme. If you're going to be that diverse offensively, you're hard to stop.
Yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown, 69 yards. Quez Watkins, 69 yards. Very nice on both of their parts.
Wow.
Devontae Smith, 80. Dallas Goedert, 82. That's a beautiful sight.
It's a great way to be able to showcase Quez Watkins, too.
That was a beautiful play design.
That play took forever. Like, in the stadium, it seemed like that play went on for 5 minutes.
Well, it's funny. We talked about this before the season started, that with this offensive line, you can maybe, and we were talking about keeping a speedy receiver. I think it was the kid that was the hurdler. We were saying, I wonder if they want to keep him because this offensive line is so good. once or twice a game, you can have Jalen Hurts just stand back there and let the kid run deep. Well, they did that with Quez Watkins last night. The offensive line held perfectly.
But you know why that play worked? Because the Vikings had to show respect to A.J. Brown. I believe it was A.J. Brown that did it.
Oh, I thought it was Goddard.
No, it was Goddard.
It was Goddard.
Yeah,
Either way,
field
one of their
football.
top two weapons made that out. The defense respected it. I think it was Harrison Smith bid on it, and Quez Watkins just flew right by.
You don't know football.
Apparently not.
Did you ever watch the game?
Good job,
No.
though, Jamie. I mean,
I'm
it's
faking it. How am I
you said that
doing?
it goes-
You watched reruns of Madam Secretary last night, didn't you? Again.
It was the West Wing.
Wait a minute. Who's Madam Secretary?
That was Tia
Well,
Leone's
you wouldn't know because
big
you're a
hit with
football guy.
CBS.
You're a
Tia,
football guy.
Tia Leone. Is that the girl from Dharma and Greg?
See?
No, that's Jenna Elfman.
See, look, he knows everything.
I can't see the two. Like those two are.
Tia
in it.
Leone was with David Duchovny for a while.
See, look,
And he's a sex addict.
This is what he does.
Wait a
instead
minute.
of
He's a
watching football.
sex addict. This
yeah,
is why
David
you don't-
Duchovny was a sex addict.
This is why you don't know
It
football.
was
I know.
Dallas Goddard.
This is why you don't know
No,
it.
we can talk sex addicts.
I had a big crush on Tia Leone back in the day.
compelling TV. Yeah,
Tia-
she's cute.
Tia Leone. What do you know about Haddonfield, New Jersey, Bob Cooney?
An awful lot. I've been there many, many times.
Well, we're gonna
Played
be
in the
there
Summer League
Thursday.
for years. It's a great PJs.
He's getting
Bob's
choked
so
up.
choked up.
Anytime
Get
you
it
talk
together,
Jersey,
Every
man.
town in Jersey.
anytime you talk Jersey,
All you have
just-
to do is make a left from the right-hand lane before you make the right to make the left.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
Horrible.
No, it is. It's a great PJ's location. There's always good crowds there every night. We walk in. There's guys we played basketball against in high school and all that. It's a great crowd. We're gonna have a lot of fun on Thursday.
It's going to be a great time.
John, pay attention
Take
to the show.
Take
Get your
take
picture
a selfie
taken in the
there.
secondary.
It's everybody's picture, Bob. He's trying to get us all into the picture there, Bob. So
good
that's
radio.
the gentleman's trying.
Look, we don't
made
get
a donation.
We don't get people to come out to see us
Nice.
very often, so
Good
this is a
point.
big deal.
And big men from Top Golf will always get my respect.
Absolutely.
I love Top Golf.
Top Golf is
Abs-
one of my favorite places.
Top Golf is the best.
I
Which
can't
one?
wait.
Are you from the one in Mount Laurel? Yeah, good.
Absolutely
Great
the
place.
best. Top Golf is
Yeah.
amazing, and we thank everybody coming out this morning. If you are donating to the AACR, you have a chance to go to see the Eagles play the Giants in New York with Philly Sports Trips. So just come on in. You can make a donation, or if you can't make it here this morning, go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR.
I tweeted the link.
And you have until midnight. You got until midnight to do it to be registered for the trip. So you get an opportunity to be able to do so.
I can't wait for the Top Golf to open up in King of Prussia.
Oh, my gosh.
And Northeast. I think Northeast is open.
Northeast is
Yeah.
Northeast is the one I've been to.
Northeast is already open.
Yeah, I've been to that twice already.
It's the KOP one is just has been long
but,
awaited.
But we're fortunate because we're done at 10, so we could swing up there and
Have a little breakfast.
I think
They
think
have breakfast, bud.
They have like a special until like noon. It's like really cheap to golf, and we can do that if we want because we're adults.
We can do anything
do what
we
we
want.
want, yeah.
We can do anything we want.
No one's harnessing this beast.
We will be in Haddonfield for the PJ's Happy Hour on Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. So take advantage of that. We look forward to seeing you out there. Bob, how many of the 6 Degrees of Bob Cooney people will be there in Haddonfield? Any idea? I mean, can we even get an
I don't know
estimate?
if you can count that high, John. It's going to be pretty high.
I'm going to need to take off my shoes for that one. It's going to be a great
Well,
one.
and if
to be able to count, Pat.
If he can't find people that
I'm not
know
like
him,
Jamie, showing my toes all year long.
We're not toe shaming.
If he can't find anybody at the PJs he knows, he starts calling people up to see if they're free to stop by.
No, I don't think I do that.
So he can
Pat.
play 6 degrees.
Yeah,
Yesterday you like butt dialed and pulled oh, sorry about that. Like you just love calling people on the phone. You love it. You live for it.
And Bob, Rock was
true.
exactly.
So here's who I talked. Who
Rock
started
was
talking
who
to
I.
yesterday?
By the way, Rock
Connor
was who
Thomas,
I pictured.
Mike from Delran,
Uh-huh.
and who else?
Let me see your call
my
log
wife.
from yesterday.
I will.
You're scared to show me.
No, I'm not scared. I'm
He's
pulling
not
it up
scared
right
to
now.
show
There
you.
was at least one person you called during the show, and you were like, "Oh, sorry about that. I called you," and you didn't. You didn't call by mistake.
Chuck D'Amico,
Look,
I talked
Chuck
to.
D'Amico.
Connor
Who's
Thomas.
that? Who's
That's-
that?
Oh, yesterday. Pat
John
Egan,
Walsh.
Connor Thomas.
John Walsh is
He-
calling you. That's
he
a fake
called
name.
John
me.
Walsh.
Donna called you twice.
Who's
what do you have
Scam
to talk
Likely?
about?
What's
Yeah.
up with them?
Huh?
Why
That's
did she
shady.
call me twice?
That's shady, and you're answering that call.
You didn't even call your wife back,
Get
and she
outta
called
here,
you twice.
Bob.
That's unbelievable.
Get outta here.
28. Oh my gosh, I should call her back.
I think you should call her back and find out what happened, Bob. We have a commercial break for you to be able to do it, too. So if you want to get in with us, too, and celebrate a little bit of that fantastic Monday Night Football Eagles fever, we appreciate you. 610-632-0975. And everybody who donates today to the AACR at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. You make that donation online today. You are in the hopper to take that trip to New York to see the Giants. And now every single game becomes a little more important. Every single game becomes a little more exciting. And yes, they were celebrating on the New York radio station yesterday that the Giants are in first place.
Did they watch Daniel Jones play?
They're talking the first place G-men. I'm like, oh, gosh, this is going to be fun to squash that bug. That's going to be a good one. We will be with you all morning long here at Pagano's. We hope you'll see it at One Bala Plaza. The Stars sometimes were the villains. We'll get to it next. Plus, we'll hear from more of our jurors and more. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Today, I'm celebrating 24 years in cancer remission, and ringing that bell and being cancer-free is something that changes people's lives. And you know what? You help to do it by donating to the American Association for Cancer Research. Do you realize they're based right here in Philadelphia? But their tentacles go all over the world because they help to fund researchers, over 50,000 of them worldwide, that are coming up with breakthroughs. Back when I was first diagnosed, they had a 71% of survival for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for a man my age. By the time 20 years later came around, the survival rate was in the 90 percentile. So everything changes because of you. The changes are incremental sometimes they're major breakthroughs. You want to be a part of it, you make a donation. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, and you can do it in honor of somebody who maybe you knows fighting the battle right now. Maybe it's somebody who has succumbed to the battle. You want to do it in their honor. We absolutely love you, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of the fun today. So go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, because cancer research saves lives. Hanging out with the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. We are live at Pagano's at One Bala Plaza. It's our building. We're downstairs. They're going to have food. We're going to have a great time. We hope that you'll hang out with us all morning. We're asking people to donate online at 975thefanatic.com/AACR. You'll be entered to win a trip to see the Birds play the G-Men in New York. I want to thank Tim Sickler, Angela Carosella, Joe Motson, and Eric Stewart already, too, donating online. We appreciate it. Everybody make those donations. And you can come on by here at One Bala Plaza and also make those donations. We love it when you do here at Pagano's.
Did you see Brady's shirt?
Yeah, Brady stopped by.
Brady wearing his Eagles shirt.
Oh, man, that is I was out looking for an Eagles shirt yesterday. I wish I would have seen that one.
Where'd he find that one?
I don't know. I got to ask him
He's
when
coming
he comes back.
Yeah, he's coming back. That was my one
He's
complaint
a
about.
Nice one.
I had a lot of people asking yesterday about Joe Bell wanted my the quarter zip.
Yeah, your quarter zip was nice yesterday.
Paul
Very
Blake,
nice.
Paul Blake, some of the other bigwigs, muckety mucks around the station. Now, if I wanted to be an ass kisser, I would go and buy a few today at Rally House.
Did they want it for their wives or for themselves?
No, they wanted it for themselves.
Oh.
They loved it.
I thought it was kind of
What?
girly.
I didn't think so.
No, I'm just
What?
kidding.
I mean,
I didn't think so.
I'm teasing.
That is Joe Bell
Where
and
did you
Paul
get,
Blake.
Without singing, if that's what this takes.
I got it at.
Did you get it there? Okay.
I got it at Rally
It's my
House.
fault.
I got a coupon.
Shut your mouth.
Oh
you
my
do?
God. Yeah, do that. Shut your
off.
mouth.
And go to Rally House.
I'm going to use it.
There
Wait,
we go.
You have some gift cards?
No, I got a coupon.
He has a coupon.
I have one coupon. It arrived in the mail.
I have one now, too, to Rally House
20%
also.
off. It's basically free.
Hey, you know, Wawa's got 2 for $5 Sizzly deals. It makes breakfast the most important deal of the day. Great mornings start at your local Wawa. Sometimes the heroes used to be villains. So in all honesty, how much backtracking will be done today? How much revisionist history, as Jamie threw out that term, is going to be done about the competency of Jonathan Gannon? I'll just leave it there.
It's one game still.
We got that. We all acknowledge it's one game. So, but
Well, yeah, but you want to seem to be making definitive statements.
no, it's not. I'm saying how much backtracking will be done. So you're saying is it one game you don't?
I don't think
believe
it's any
it then?
backtracking yet. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think the questions were valid.
They were
might
valid.
still be valid, and we'll take it from there.
I don't think there's going to be much backtracking at all. I think sports fans, especially in this day and age, are very reluctant to admit when they were wrong. But to Jamie's point, it is only one game. So I think that a lot of people that were critical of Jonathan Gannon aren't going to immediately praise him because they're going to say it's one game, which is true. I mean,
So what's the bar we set? Are we setting the bar at
Super
three
Bowl
games?
Super Bowl, I would say.
3 games, 4 games, or is it going to keep moving the goalpost on it? Like,
Well,
what do we need to say?
it's not. I don't think that's moving the goalpost.
No, but I mean, if you see 4 out of 6 games, the defense plays exceptional. Would we then be like, it's pretty good? I mean, like, what is it? Like, what is the number? I'm just trying to figure out parameters of people. What you need to see. Look, last year sucked.
You're all Jonathan
last
Gannon
year,
up.
Last year sucked.
Did last night move you to think he's a good defensive coordinator, definitively a good defensive coordinator in this league?
I absolutely say that doesn't happen by accident, but I wonder, Bob, what the hell took so long?
Yeah,
that's what I look at it, and I look at it with the offensive coordinator too. What the hell took so long to come up with a game plan like that you knew the guy could run? You'd seen the guy run at the highest level against the top competition in college football, yet you wouldn't run it in the NFL. Like, I mean, I question both coordinators. So I'm not giving him a pass on what he hasn't done, but I wonder I just want people to say, what's Jonathan Gannon going to have to show you?
It's
consistency. I'm sorry, Pat, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it's going to be tough for him to win a crowd over based on the opponents they face. Because I think a lot of people are going to be hesitant to buy fully in when you're playing Washington, Jacksonville.
Right.
Arizona's a good team.
That's
they're
going to be a
good
real
team.
test, and we'll
But
be
then
there
after
for
that,
it.
you've got Cooper Rush, and then you've got Mitch Trubisky, and if it's not Mitch, it's a rookie quarterback. Then you've got a bad Houston Texans team, the Washington Commanders again, the Colts who just got shut out by Jacksonville and might have a coaching change.
That game changed, really changed.
And then so at that point, we're at week 12 against the Packers. So I think
so. Everybody's not going to get many credit all along.
No, I don't think it's necessarily going to be no credit. I think there will be, and I think the titles start to shift. But you have to keep in mind and take it with a grain of salt that the opponents he's facing aren't great. But look, I mean, I didn't think Detroit was good. So
people are giving Rob Thompson credit.
It's a good point by you.
Rob Thompson's being paraded in this town as if he's their
But
hero.
that's because we saw
beating crappy beating crappy teams.
That's because we saw what the
You're going over the line is incredible this morning.
Yeah, you
I heard nobody
Bob,
this week
did
say
you say
that Minnesota was a Super Bowl team. I don't know anybody that's putting Rob Thompson up on top of their shoulders. Like
I tried.
Yeah, I think people are saying he did well, and yeah.
I play for Philly Rob. I mean, come on. This has been going on for weeks around here.
It's better than
and he has been
I
better.
guess I must live in a cave because who the hell is saying I live for Philly Rob? This whole town is saying that?
Bryce Harper says it on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I play for Philly Rob.
Okay, that's not this whole town saying that they're in love with Rob and he's on their shoulders and all.
When you played for New
I
York
just think
Joe,
it's overstatements today.
When you played,
definitively saying that Jonathan Gannon. No, we can't say definitively.
I didn't say it.
I didn't say you
know
did.
what I mean?
I think he had a really good game last night. I think what you're asking us is when are the people going to believe in him?
Like, what does he have to do? Is all I'm trying to do is set the parameters of how, because I keep hearing it's one game. So if we see 3 games.
No, I don't think
then people are going to tell me 5 games?
It's like sex. You know when you know.
You have my attention.
You know? Like
what was that, JV? Could you tell us?
When
Jamie,
you know. You see it.
When you know.
Jamie,
that
doesn't
Jamie,
that's
that
it
is
was a Seinfeld.
That's pornography.
Pornography.
That's
what
pornography.
It is.
You know it when you see it.
Yeah, that's the old Seinfeld reference that I butchered. But you'll know when you know. I mean, I don't think there has to be parameters yet. If they come out and Carson Wentz throws for 430 yards and 3 touchdowns, we're right back to square one again. So it was a step in the right direction.
And that's I believe that. That's fair. It is. It was a step in the right direction. I wonder again from both coordinators, what the hell took so long? It's ridiculous. That offensive game plan last night, it is something that he ran in college at 2 of the top programs in the country, and they didn't let him do it in Philly. And last year they came out and said, "Oh, throw the ball 70% of the time. Yeah, this is going to be fun. We're going to have you throw the ball more than Tom Brady for 7 weeks."
Let's just be happy it happened.
I mean, it changed things up.
Yeah, let's just be happy that we did change it up and we got the result that we got yesterday because that was fun.
It was unbelievable.
You know,
it was
and
so much fun.
It was also the variety of throws that he had. Like he back-footed one, and it was still on. You know, he threw on the run. He threw to the left, to the right, down the middle. Like he just did everything last night that you couldn't find fault with Jalen Hurts when it came to the passing game.
He looked awesome.
He played pretty much a flawless game, and even the interception.
That was his fault,
which
right?
was a little bit of a forced throw, but that's what the design was. It was a screenplay. Goes off the fingertips. You don't really blame him for that too much. And this is coming from a guy that threw the flag in and Jalen Hurts detractor and doubter and all that. But man, it was a bad day for my crew, for my Jalen Hurts detractor crew, and it was awesome.
But you're going to jump on board if you see enough.
If I continue to see that, because he was doing things that I didn't think he was capable of, like standing in a pocket and taking a hit and delivering a strike, work in the middle of the field, working progressions, getting the ball to different receivers and not just forcing it to one particular guy. The deep ball was beautiful. He was just. I read it off because I actually had to write it down. 33 seconds left in the first half. That's when the first ball that he threw when I went, oh, that's not a good throw.
And I thought the most impressive thing he did last night was the drive right before half to steal 3 more points.
That's unbelievable.
It was like a minute-and-a-half offense, you know, kind of that accelerated 2-minute drill. And he was perfect. His decision-making was great. Yep. He hit all the open guys. Dallas Goedert able to pick up that extra 5 or 7 yards.
He was huge yesterday.
It was a really impressive drive. Even more impressive than the deep throws to me, because that 2-minute drill is a real thing. And, if Jalen Hurts takes these steps that he's trending towards, those comeback wins when you lead your team like he tried to against the Giants last year really can elevate you another level. And that was probably the most impressive drive from me last night.
Here's VT from Mount Airy joining us. VT, good morning. You are on The Fanatic. How are you, brother? We appreciate you.
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Great.
It is.
Listen. I'm going to get into 4 points real quick, 2 points throughout the game, and then 2 points for James over there. So, first off, I thought that, I think Jamie just mentioned it, I thought that drive right before halftime was huge. I actually thought that was one of their nicest looking, best play call drives, getting into position to get that.
Everything about it was awesome.
And I kind of felt like that really stole some of the soul from Minnesota, because obviously they had just driven down, got the turnover, and they were trying to get it, to within 7 points. So I thought that was huge. about the villain earlier. Man, how they got on Jalen Reagor, man. I almost got to the point where I kind of started feeling bad.
I don't think he was worth it. I can't. I think it was overkill, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know, we like to go to the extremes sometimes, but I kind of felt bad for him until they threw the first pass to him and it dropped off his hands, and then he had a punt where he just let it bounce and it ended up going, I think, to about the 11-yard line. I think that was in the third or fourth quarter. But I was like, yep, I was
there you go.
Why they were, kind of.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was good. It was a big night. It was a big night. Jalen Reagor got quite the reaction. That was more the reaction than I thought he would get.
That was the most.
It was more than you thought he would.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't think.
Really?
I thought people would. Yeah, because he wasn't that important.
Yeah,
Are you new here?
The vitriol that I was spewing at my TV was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my TV is going to see a therapist.
He got
was the
booed
things I was saying.
returning. Last year, he was getting booed before
Yep.
he even fielded punts.
Just taking the field.
Hearing his
As
name.
an Eagle.
Oh my God.
You thought it was going to be tame with him in a Vikings jersey?
No, he's trash.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad last night. They were
probably
all
he's
over him.
probably already deleted his Twitter account again.
Hey, for the 5th time.
Yeah.
Hey, let's check out what some of our jurors had to say. Our jury this year is brought to you by the personal injury law firm of Flager and Associates, who cares, prepares, and wins. Visit FlagerLaw.com. Where are we going, Connor Thomas?
Oh, we're going to Delco. We're going to talk to Delco Mike here and hear from him.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's DNC Delco Mike from Charleston, juror number 6 here. Hey, I feel like we saw a glimpse into what this team's potential really is. We saw Jalen and the Eagle defense really hit a new level tonight. I'm going to have higher expectations for them both now moving forward. Specifically, Jalen was decisive, releasing the ball quickly in the small passing windows, and his legs need to be a weapon. To just let him keep running.
I like the measured approach from Delco Mike. Maybe the most measured person ever to come out of Delco. Sounds very level-headed.
That probably isn't a bad statement by you, John.
He sounds very level-headed, unlike that Kevin O'Connell, claiming he's from Delco when he's from North Jersey. I mean,
I don't know why you would fight somebody claiming they're from Delco.
Because he's not from Delco.
His family is.
He's not.
Well, he feels a connection to it.
Yeah, he really was.
Let him claim Delco if he wants. He can have it.
He leaned into it. Now let him claim Montco. You speak for Montco.
Nah, he doesn't. He's not from Montco.
He's not from Delco either.
Yeah,
So why is he changing it?
According to him, he is.
Where are we going, Connor, for number 2?
Let's get it back on track. We'll go to D-Lo next.
This is Eagle. You're D'Lo calling in. I was at the game tonight. Electric atmosphere. That being said, I'm still not sold on Jonathan Gannon and the Eagles defense. Blake did have a great game, and they were able to stop the run. But I think their best defensive player tonight was the Viking wide receivers who were unable to catch the ball. Jalen Hurts, real deal. James Neal, hockey reference was had there. 4 wide receivers, 69 yards or more tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns for himself. I'm just waiting for Pat Newman to hand in their white towel.
You guys are going to have that opportunity if you want to do it.
I hope to God that Jalen Hurts forces me to hand that in. And more games like last night, I will.
I think you get. The thing is, though, you don't have to go. I have still not put 2 feet in the he's the guy, but I never got off the fence. You're free to get back on the fence. The fence can hold you.
No, I'm not going to do it after one game. But Jamie talked about that sex thing, and how you know it when you know it, which really made no sense at the time.
It didn't make any sense.
It makes sense more that you think about it.
Yeah,
Right?
no, not at all. But there's games where Jalen Hurts kind of stat collected last season, and he didn't really look the part. Last night he looked the part. He got the stats, but it was backed up by his play. It was such a strong performance. But if I see a couple more games like that, I don't care who it's against. I'll gladly hand it in and say I was wrong.
Bob, have you figured out the reference from Jamie yet or not?
If you hear me scream from my house, oh, that's it. And then you'll
there
know
it is.
that yeah.
All right, 3rd juror, Connor.
I raided this guy in the parking lot last night. Let's talk to E-Rock and hear what he has.
What's up, E-Rock?
Yo, what is up, guys? It's E-Rock reporting for Jury Duty. Actually leaving the link right now. I want to go with the good, the bad, with the game. The good. Everything. It was Jalen Hurts' breakout game in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform. The defense responded, formed the ball, forced the Vikings into mistake, and took the ball away. The bad. The spot in the end zone looks kind of stupid. That's all I got. Go first. 2-0, baby. Woo!
Yeah, the reaction to the font in the end zone last night was the most shocking to me That
Was there a
quite
reaction?
Yeah, there was quite a reaction. Even in the building when they showed it on the jumbotron, people booed it. They showed
it's just
during the
font.
warm-ups. There are people they're showing it on the thing.
If it gives me Kelly Green, I'm all for it.
Well, you're going to get that as the alternate jersey.
Well, then I'm all for it.
So you'll get that, but whatever they had to change the font or something. We'll have more from our jurors in the course of the morning. Bob Cooney wants an answer, though. Was it Hurts or was it this?
Let's see what's in Cooney's corner.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was just phenomenal. As we've been talking about, 26 for 31, 333, a touchdown. His running game was spot on. Didn't try to do too much, I didn't think, in the running game. Took what was given to him. Maybe a couple times in RPOs, the few times he ran it, he might not have made the best choices by keeping it instead of giving it to Sanders or whatever it may be. But is it a combination of both, or do you think one played out the other? Did Jalen Hurts make the play calling look better, or did the play calling make Jalen Hurts look better in your guys' minds?
Play calling made him look better. I think the approach, that game plan, is the game plan that they could have brought him along in all along.
Pat, anything?
I'm thinking.
Oh.
Jamie?
Is that what
I think Jalen Hurts was damn near perfect last night. So I got to say he was better than the play calling. Not that the play calling was bad. It's kind of a two-way street there. But I think when you're seeing the field that well and you start a drive 11 for 11, you're in the zone. He was in the zone last night. Like, even that one touchdown run, his vision on the field, I thought he was going to be out at like the 7 or 8 yard line. And then he did that last cutback and kind of said, bring it on, and muscled through a couple guys and got in. I just think he was, athletes get in the zone. And I think he was entirely in the zone last night.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit away from him by saying it was just play calling or mostly play calling. The play calling helped for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what else helped was the fact that he spread that ball around. He was dropping dimes. He was hitting guys in stride and choosing when to run appropriately. He wasn't just, stiff gust of wind, I'm taking off. I mean, I said it earlier. He actually stood in the pocket and got hit and was delivering strikes. So he pretty much played a near flawless game last night.
Yeah, I think it was just the perfect combination. I think, look, we've heard that his play calling is limited to 2 reads.
Yes.
And that's what they give him each and every game is 2 reads. Well, if that's what they were giving him last night and those reads were as open as they were, that's great play calling. Him getting in the zone, Pat, you couldn't be more correct. He was making throws last night that I think we can quite honestly say we've never seen him make before.
No, we haven't.
So and
not that many strung together.
The delivery of the ball was different than we've seen it.
I mean, the way he was just he was actually patient in the pocket last night.
He kept his eyes downfield.
He did.
I was thinking of you from the pregame show.
He would scramble and
talking about that.
I mean, last season he scrambles, he's taking off. Yeah, and even in week 1 he did it a lot.
The offensive line deserves a ton of credit last night. I thought they were phenomenal.
Yeah, they did really, really well.
And to compare it to week 1, I don't think is really fair because the Lions' D-line got after them.
Well, that's
and I think that was a huge difference in the game. The Vikings' D-line sucked last night.
Yeah, that was another thing that really impressed me. And I wonder, but if they totally designed 2 totally different offenses because of the opponent, and Jamie, you talk about this all the time, like a Belichick
That's
never
music
goes
to my ear.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So as much as we didn't like the 90% RPO in game 1, it looks like they game planned for that because they saw something from Detroit. Got you 31 points from the offense. It got you a win on the road. Good. Then they come back and go completely away from that and go to a totally differently schemed offense. Look, that has to be music to our ears if we're talking about offensive coordinators.
I absolutely hope. I hope it is. I don't know about music to our ears, but Mike from Delran is certainly somebody who, let's just say, gets our blood boiling and excited and ready to go. And we saw him last night. Mike, how are you, brother?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hey, I'm glad to hear that G-Rock probably found his keys the last time I saw him.
Yeah, his wife drove an hour and a half to drop off the backup set. He lost his keys in the parking lot.
Oh, man.
That's incredible. That's an MVP wife.
Yeah, that's a good missus.
My wife has told me to Uber.
To somewhere else,
Mike,
not home.
Mike, that's a different reason she's telling you to Uber.
Yeah, good point. I'm back on the fence. Like I talked yesterday. I just wanted to see Jalen Hurts have some confidence in himself and take that couple extra seconds to look at the other reads, and he did that yesterday. If I can get that Jalen Hurts 9 to 10 times a like he could be the guy going forward. I know it's one game, but he looks really good. And
You're back on the fence, though, which is good. There's plenty of room for you, and it can hold you.
I hope so.
Jamie and Pat are welcome to get back on the fence, too.
They'll be back on. And hey, John, real quick, Fan Fest, 10 o'clock in the parking lot.
You're.
A couple of guys joining forces with me. We have food out there. We have kegs out there.
Oh, this is awesome. Oh, cannot wait to. I will be there and cannot wait to see you.
Even that YouTube troll, Chris Miller, you're more than
Take care, buddy.
Yeah, we're all
Mike
we're all
from
friends
Delray.
October 1st.
Absolutely, October 1st, and hopefully the 3-0 Eagles will be preparing for Doug Peterson's return.
Yeah, and quite a game from our guy Slay last night as he shows up to FanFest. I think he's going to be coming in on a hero's welcome.
Wait till he
keeps
picks
playing
up,
this way.
Wait till he picks off Wentz twice this week.
What if there's a volcano?
Like a
And,
volcano?
Darius gets like lifted right out of
We
it.
should
So
give
he
a
brings Slay
sacrifice
right
to it,
out
yeah.
of it.
Well, after the second interception, you could like faintly hear him saying like, "I'll be at FanFest."
I like his.
I'm bringing
That's what he
this
told
ball
James
up.
Harden. He's
Yeah,
like, "You
I'm
going to
bringing
join
this
me at
ball to
FanFest?"
I like his beautiful bride saying, "My husband's good at football."
Yeah, that was good.
That's a very, very good tweet.
I put that
last
video on mute, but
He's phenomenal. I did some online content this morning, John. It's the first time in
online digital content.
he joined Lito Shepherd and Troy Vincent as the only Eagles defensive back since 1999 to have over 5 passes defended and 2 interceptions in a game.
Against
Three
of them against him, or 4 of him against.
He had 5 passes
Five
defended
passes.
last night. Justin Jefferson only had 1 catch for 7 yards. Darius Slay had more catches than Justin Jefferson.
Against Darius Slay.
Yes, against
Against
Darius
Slay.
Slay.
I just want to point that out.
They gave up a 3rd-round pick for him.
The
I can't.
The Lions
that's
are
cool.
idiots for trading us to him, and the Titans are idiots for trading A.J. Brown to us. Thank
Zach-
you, both of those teams.
Zach Berman from The Athletic joins us for his day after report. And, boy, we can get excited about a 2-0 start. John Kincade Show continues live on 97.5 The Fanatic. You know, if you're heading to FanFest this year, you're going to know what's going on if you download the Let's Rally app, RALLIE. Let's Rally app on your phone is going to let you know with push notifications all day at FanFest where to go, who to see, when to see Slay, when to go to NEC, when about our guest. You want to go meet Shady McCoy, whatever it is. And the Eagles tickets were given away, courtesy of Mitchell and Ness. You got to have the Let's Rally app to register to win. Know when all the players arrive, sign up for cool prizes, and be part of all things FanFest right in the palm of your hand. And when we're done with FanFest, you're going to find random things all over Philadelphia that the Let's Rally app helps you plan for fun nights out for you and your friends. You're going to love it. You add filters like experiences or food or drink, and the app's going to create a plan for you instantly. Unthink your day, and you want to unthink FanFest. Make it fun. Your phone will tell you what to do. Download the Let's Rally app, RALLIE app today, and unthink FanFest 2022. You got to call 215-263-0975. If you're caller number 10, you're going to automatically get a pair of FanFest tickets. But if you end up being the qualifier that wins, you're going to win a trip for two to see the Birds play the Cardinals in Arizona on October the 9th with us, the John Kincade Show, courtesy of PhillySportsTrips.com, where you travel with the pros. It's all being presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook and app. You get everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or Jersey. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We will do this again today at noon and today at 4. So during Cuz Radio and the best show ever, get yourself qualified and good luck. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. We appreciate you being here with us. We are live from Pagano's at One Bala Plaza as we celebrate a day of fundraising for the American Association for Cancer Research.
Matty Pagano just got in the house.
You're glad to see Matt Pagano in because you're thinking
he's going to be all fired up with the Birds, so he's probably going to be handing out some breakfast meats. You
thinking that's coming?
Yeah. Oh, some meats and cheeses?
Absolutely. The delicacies have already been out, too.
Mrs. Addie Lynch was here, too. I'm not saying that's a delicacy or anything like that, but it was good to see her, Jamie.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
She's on her way to school, so I told her to stop by for a coffee. And
there you go.
Nice.
I shoved a warm croissant in her pocket, if you know what I mean, and I told her to scram.
Is that a warm croissant in your pocket? Or
Yeah.
There you go.
Just happy to see me.
Hey, I want to, Connor, don't worry about it. There'll be plenty of leftover at 10 o'clock for you. Plenty left over here.
Maybe.
By the way,
debatable. I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we bring something up to Connor before. We may. There are some people volunteering. We'll see if that happens. I want to thank Sean Gillespie for making a donation.
What do you say,
this
Sean?
morning. Julie Van Sciver.
Big
She
J.
sounds important.
I love Julie Van Sciver.
Mike Bickford.
Love Mike Bickford.
The Bick.
How about Keith Weingart? You like Keith?
Old Whiny?
How about Christy Schwager?
Love. That's
Christy
Ryan's
loves
mom.
beer, yeah.
And Christy says, congrats on my cancer-free anniversary, 24 years today, in memory of her mom, Dottie.
That's
so
awesome.
we appreciate it.
I had a
Thank you so
grandma
much.
Dot.
Yeah, I had an Aunt Dot.
Yeah.
So it was a very popular
That's a name that
I
went
guess,
away.
back then. It really has. You don't meet many Dots anymore.
No, you don't.
They're all.
Let's bring it back.
My Aunt Dot. I had Aunt Dot and Uncle Dell.
I'm bringing the dot back.
You're bringing Dot back?
Everybody likes a dot.
Who doesn't like a dot?
Zach Berman from The Athletic will join us in just a few moments here, and we'll do the recap of last night's performance by your Philadelphia Eagles, where they went to 2-0. And as I said it, the last time they went 2-0 is the last time they went 3-0, 2016. That was Doug Peterson's first year when they came charging out of the box 3-0. They ended that year 7-9. I don't see any similarities between the 2016 team and the 2022 team. There's not much in similarities there. But a 2-0 start and 2-0 in the conference is a great way to get your year started.
Yeah, I mean, it sure as hell beats the alternative. And I had reservations about yesterday's game, and it was unwarranted for sure. Wow, look what happens, Pat. People come walking in here, they see you, and they turn right around and leave.
My gosh.
I get it.
I mean,
That was abrupt.
I know. That's just not nice.
That was really abrupt.
It happens, whatever.
I think they're going to come in by the side door and come
Yeah.
around in the side door.
Jamie, you like going in the side door, right?
They could do
When
that.
we
They're
come to
gonna-
work sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, I'm the
check.
side
I'm
door,
used to
man.
that reaction from women.
I mean, they
so.
walked in,
I mean,
they
right
looked
in
at
your
us
face.
and walked out.
Not
Yeah,
us.
it happens.
I mean, they really
It's
weren't.
all right.
I mean,
we'll rally from it, and
What?
we'll be better people.
What will we do?
Move
say
on,
it.
John.
We'll move on.
Rally. Yeah, it's the we are live here at Pagano's and celebrating a 2-0 start for your Philadelphia Eagles. Now you get Washington and Jacksonville. So now people will start doing the translation game. Well, if you beat them, then you'll beat them, and you'll be 4-0 and 5-0. It shows you how things change, though.
Next thing you know, you're Howard Dean.
We can do that if you'd like.
No, we don't need to, because you already backtracked on your one-loss
did.
game from the season.
I did, but I had
the week
a loss
of
at the
after
beginning,
one
or a win
week.
at the beginning of the season.
He
We're
had
going
him
to
2-0.
Washington.
He had him
right?
2-0.
Jacksonville's
then he
coming here.
No, then he went, no.
I have a win in week
Once
3.
you change it, you
Week
can't
4,
change
I have
it.
a win.
Before the year, you said 4-0. Now they're when they were.
I don't
oh
follow
my
your
gosh, it was the end. I know that. Hey, Huntington Valley Bank is fast growing, and they're the best bank for your business, celebrating 150 years as a top contender in local banking. The win-loss game only works, Bob, if you actually hold it accountable.
No, I mean, no one's going to fact check in sports radio. So what you do is,
Well, that's-
at the end of it,
still
you
That's
have him-
absolutely
I
true.
still
got
have
it
him
going
at 12
14-2.
wins.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Nothing changes with your one-loss game when they win a game you didn't expect?
Now it's 12. 12-5 is what I predicted before the season, so I'm sticking to it.
Stick to it and see how it all develops. Last night, though, was every reason to be extremely confident. The offense, though, was just so smooth.
It was spicy.
It was just it was constant misdirection. And you get to 70 plays and you're almost dead even pass run in a game that, for the most part, was a 1 to 2 in that 1-2 score range. That was pretty good balance last night. I was very impressed with them that they stuck with it.
Time of possession was insane. I mean, they just dominated.
It did feel like the offense was on the field the entire game.
Yeah.
And Miles Sanders again. Miles Sanders just, you talk about saying, dude, are you on the fence about me? Then you're an idiot, because he has had 2 spectacular performances.
Yeah, and I kind of got a little disappointed maybe last night. There was a couple times where the offense came out onto the field and it was Boston Scott to start a series. And I was like, I don't want to – it's nitpicking, but I don't want to see it. We saw that too much with Deuce Staley and stuff. Like, he's your number one. Let him be your number one. Let him start every series. That's what I want to see out of Miles Sanders and the coaching staff, that they have the confidence in him to do that. But another great game by him, no question.
Man, it really was.
You're like if you're looking for complaints,
I am.
I'm not like calling you out or anybody, but my point, if anyone's looking for a complaint, like, it's the thing, like, you're reaching.
Yes,
at
exactly.
that game,
absolutely.
and that's such a good feeling to come in. I mean, we're all sleep deprived, but to come in
And
here,
it was complete.
Yeah, and you're just like, you're in a good mood, because it's like, all right, E-Rock had it best. Let's think about the bad. The font.
Yeah,
I don't think no one expected that. No one expected to come in and be like, all right, well, that's the worst thing that happened.
I want to
last
know
night.
the executive who said change the font. I mean, I really do want this to be
Well, I want to shake
accountable.
their hand if the font leads to Kelly Green.
The Kelly Green was coming either way.
Yeah, but apparently there's a rumor out there that the font had something to do with the New Jersey design and had to fit with something with the Kelly Green.
Stupid.
There's some kind of
please.
tie-in with it. If that's the case, I want to shake that man's hand.
Well, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go to the Comcast Business
woman's
Hotline,
hand.
where every day in business is a big day. Maybe Zach Berman can do an investigative series after the season on which executive okayed changing the font. But today we have bigger fish to fry. We got the 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles after last night's game, and Zach, that was probably the red letter day, the best mark that we've got yet for the administration of Nick Sirianni.
I agree, and Jalen Hurts in particular, right? The way Jalen Hurts plays, I think, changes the way you view the season, raises the ceiling. These first 2 weeks from Jalen are better than even the most ardent Hurts supporters could have expected. So you are right about that. And then I would say Nick Sirianni, too, and Jonathan Gannon's defense, they struck all the right notes against a good Vikings team on a national stage. Eagles fans should feel good this morning.
Love it. I love the fact that the energy that they came out with and the balance that they came out with. To be almost 70 plays into the game and it was almost pass run even, that was incredible patience out of Shane Steichen and a real change in approach.
Well, you saw from the opening drive, the script that they had, it worked, obviously, but it was creative and it had the Vikings on their heels. They came out in tempo. It wasn't just balanced in terms of running and passing, but in terms of distributing the ball to different receivers. On that first drive, 4 different receivers catch the ball, 5 if you include one nullified by penalty. So that's a credit to Steichen in terms of the play calling and the way they ran the ball, the way the offensive line blocked. The whole offense complemented each other in the first half in particular.
Zach, was there a familiarity for Jalen Hurts looking at that defense last night? Because there were times, and Troy Aikman pointed it out on the television, that looked like an Eagles defense out there, where it was keep everything in front of you if you can and kind of a soft zone for most of the night.
Sure, that's a good point. And philosophically, it's very similar in terms of what the Vikings are doing, what the Eagles are doing. And Nick spoke about this my days during Monday night games get mixed up. He spoke about it on Saturday that this is a defensive look that he saw throughout the summer. But I don't think it was that familiarity as much as it was he just had the answer and he made the plays. He extended some plays that needed to be extended. He sat in the pocket, the receivers down soft spot,
in zone. A week ago, Detroit played more man coverage than any team in the league. And obviously the Eagles saw a more zone-heavy team on Monday, and Hurts had the answers for it.
Yeah, Zach, last night Darius Slay had what I thought was one of the most dominating defensive backs performances by an Eagle in a long, long time. How much of that was scheme and allowing a man to play man? How much of that was just Darius Slay being one of the best cornerbacks in the world?
Well, that's a good way of framing it because it's a little bit of both, but the reason they were able to play that way is because Darius Slay is one of the best cornerbacks in the team, right? And so they were more aggressive. I think particularly on third down you saw it, and they allowed more man coverage, in particular against Jefferson, and Slay wanted that challenge. He rose to that challenge, and he knew where Kirk Cousins was going with the ball. But you're not going to do that when you have Eagles corners from say 2019, right? You're going to do that when you have Jalen Mills on. I'm sorry.
When you don't have Jalen Mills.
When you have James Bradbury on one side and then Darius Slay on the other. So I think it says more about Slay than anything else, and that's a guy who spent a lot of years in Detroit not having these types of moments, and he savors the big things. That's why he has the nickname Big Play Slay.
Zach Berman from The Athletic joining us here on the John Kincade Show on the Comcast Business Hotline. And I would say some of the vitriol that was coming the way of Jonathan Gannon and the Eagles defense last week I thought was, I kept hearing from people it's an overreaction to overreact to 1 week, but it seemed like a continuation of last year. Did a light bulb go off last night? Did you see anything different during the week, and how sustainable do you think the performance of last night is moving forward for this Eagles defense?
So as far as a light bulb going off, I wouldn't frame it like that, but they saw the tape like you saw the tape, and they knew areas that needed to be corrected. And I think really jumped out.
Zach, when you brought up earlier that the Lions went a lot of man-to-man defensively. Last night you get a lot of zone heavy from the Minnesota Vikings. If you're a defensive team or the teams that the Eagles are going to play, coming down the line, which do you think Jalen Hurts is going to see more of?
Well, I think Jalen Hurts is it frankly depends more on the defensive look, on the defensive velocity of the other quarterback. I don't think teams are going dramatically for Hurts. But I would guess that given what Hurts can do against the blitz in terms of running, he'll see less blitzing. And when you man the Eagles, A.J. Brown can win one-on-one coverage. So I think that has left a little bit.
Zach, obviously the opponent next weekend, since we won't talk to you until after the game, has a pretty good wide receiver room as well at his disposal. How much of what you saw last night can be taken into next week? Is this a week-to-week defense where Jonathan Gannon's going to kind of implement different schemes for different quarterbacks and wide receivers?
Well, in the NFL, every week is season, right? So, what you see 1 week change dramatically. I do think that the Eagles realized specific things on defense that they needed to do better, and you implemented, and they implemented, in particular, managing the coverage with the rush, right? So if the quarterback's going to bring the ball quickly, they need to be uptight against the wide receivers. If the quarterback takes a deeper drop, they need to be deeper there to prevent a big play. So I think that it depends on what the opposing quarterback is doing. There will be weeks when they'll bring more pressure, and there are weeks when you want less pressure to have more guys there against perhaps a local quarterback. But I think the Eagles know full well where Washington's strengths are, and they know what Wentz can do as well.
Zach, one of the things I noticed last night is it resembled the offense that he was running, resembled a lot more what I saw at Alabama, a lot more what I saw at Oklahoma. And I wondered, did the Eagles maybe keep the training wheels on their offense around Jalen Hurts a little too long to let him just get out there and maybe he saw the field better last night?
That's an interesting way of putting it, and that's well the case. I don't know if I would frame it that they kept the training wheels on him, because I think the short throws last year that Jalen needed to make that he didn't make. And to Jalen's credit, he's made them this year. He made them against Detroit. He especially made them last night. So I think this is more the evolution of the quarterback that they can play differently and play better.
Zach Jordan Davis only hitting the field last night for 21 plays. Now, granted, in the second half, you knew Minnesota was going to throw an awful lot, so that may have come into play. But what are you hearing about him? We heard another reporter claim that they spoke to an Eagles executive that said that conditioning might be a problem. What do you feel is going on with him?
I think that they're still finding, the right way to play. There's specific tactics we're going to number one, and the right way to play, especially early down. As far as conditioning, this is something that's come up, frankly, since the draft. They have a playing weight that they want for him, but it's not as much the playing weight. It's that even if you go back to his Georgia days, he wasn't playing 50 snaps a game, 45 snaps a game. He was playing more of the range of the way the Eagles are playing. So if they are going to extend him, they need to know that they're getting optimal snaps from him in order to do so.
Zach, question about the running game. Miles Sanders has been really good this year. The biggest knock on him throughout his career is availability. Kind of averages like that 12 or 13 games a year. If he's able to stay healthy this year, and I know it's early and it's only 2 weeks, what percentage chance do you give him that the Eagles would consider bringing him back? Albeit not a record-breaking contract or anything like that, but are they opposed to possibly running it back if the number's affordable?
I think they are opposed to it, but the key is A, what that number is, and B, what their options are. And the B part is pretty interesting. This is expected to be a deep running back draft class, and when you look at Eagles' salary distribution in recent years, in particular, how it works in the second act, it hasn't been paying running backs big money, right? And running backs on second contract can often be a dangerous proposition.
Sure.
I think they like the player, they like the explosiveness, but it would depend what that number is, and I think there's probably a number there that would be too far for him to go if Sanders really excels this season.
Did people oversell the Minnesota Vikings, or were the Eagles that much better than everybody expected them to be?
Well, week one is right for overreaction. So there probably was some overselling after the way the Vikings played against the Packers, but that's a real good team that I expect is going to be involved in playoff discussion going late December, early January. So I think this has more to do with the Eagles. Now, the environment has something to do with it, right? That was a big stage for the Eagles. The crowd was into it. It was a tough spot for the Vikings. But I think yesterday had more to do with the Eagles than it did the Vikings.
Great job, Zach. We appreciate it. Everybody's got to get The Athletic and catch all the great coverage from Zach Berman. You got a short week, so you got to get to work.
I love it. Look forward to it. Look forward to talking to you guys next week.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Zach Berman joined us on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every week in business is a big week. So check out our friends at Comcast. They can help you get set up there. The Bob Cooney will have Speak for Yourself tomorrow after Nick Sirianni does his day after press conference. So I can't wait to hear some of the things that come out of that, Bob, and hear how you sort of decipher them. Because today could be a chance for any one of the coaches to beat their chest a little bit.
They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, they
shouldn't.
I
don't think he will, by the way.
I don't think they will.
I don't think Nick Sirianni's that.
No.
He's not that guy.
No, it's probably the best day to go to the podium for him since he's been here.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's their most impressive win since he came along. So, pounding the chest, I'd be disappointed, and I don't expect it. But, look, there's a lot of good questions that can be asked about, and, John, you've put it out there. Why is this so eye-opening the way they used Jalen Hurts last night, and they hadn't seemed to use him like that before? So,
and I wondered about, Bob, the seeing of the field, and that's why I asked Zach about it, is that's the way, when I saw him pass a lot in college, many times that's how he was passing. He's passing out of the shotgun.
Well, yeah.
And it's like they didn't want to do it.
A lot of the opponents that he faced in college, they were overwhelming, right?
Absolutely.
So he's playing against lesser talent. Last night he played against what appeared to be an easy defense, and he did what he did. So soft zones, I don't think, are the way to go maybe against this Eagles team as currently constructed. I think you're going to see, that's why I asked Zach, I think you're going to see a lot more man-to-man.
The American Association for Cancer Research, we're raising money for them today. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives, and you can make a donation. And if you make a donation today before midnight, you will be entered to win a trip to New York to go see the Birds play the Giants in December with our friends from Philly Sports Trips. It's a great opportunity for you there. We appreciate if you need FanFest tickets, you come on by here at Pagano's, make a donation, and we'll get you your FanFest tickets so you'll be with us. You realize FanFest is 10 days away, and Coach seems very calm.
He's not. He's a ball of nerves.
He's a ball of nerves
Well,
about
it's because
it?
he booked the right guy. He's got big play Slay coming.
I mean, seriously, how about nailing the celebrity that everybody wants to see?
It's amazing. We're talking about Nick
Slay.
Sirianni. Nick Sirianni pumping his chest. The way that Coach Camille's walking around Pagano's like he owns the place.
Oh, he's
and
peacocking.
it's because of how big play Slay played.
We look forward to having you join us. We'll be here throughout the morning here at Pagano's. It's One Bala Plaza. If you're in the area, come on by and see us. Grab yourself a great breakfast, and we look forward to hanging out with you. We will hear more from our jurors. Plus, this team better stop the bleeding. It's the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. With fall right here this week and winter not far behind it, the cold weather is about to hit. Have you checked your furnace? Do you know that it's ready for the brutal winter ahead? Well, why don't you go ahead and get the peace of mind you can get with H&H Heating and Air Conditioning's $59 gas furnace tune-up, which includes a carbon monoxide safety check. $59 to know that you're ready for the winter that's coming your way. H&H came out to our house for a system tune-up just a week ago. Everything's A-okay. Now, we got a brand new house, but they still always are going to be on the job for us. We do these tune-ups every single season, so we'll do it in the spring, we'll do it in the fall. Get them ready for the winter, get it ready for the summer. If you need a new system, like Jamie just grabbed, H&H has rebates up to $1,500 or 0% financing for 18 months if you're a qualified buyer. If you need a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor, rely on my friends from H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. It's DelcoHVAC.com. Schedule your $59 tune-up or new system estimate today. DelcoHVAC.com. Tell them the John Kincade Show all pointed you in their direction. Is back from a very lively and fun Paganos here at One Bala Plaza. I'm celebrating 24 years cancer-free. We're trying to raise money for the AACR all day long. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Make a donation today, and when you do, you are in the running to go see the Birds play the Giants with Philly Sports Trips. We appreciate them, and we appreciate everybody being on with us today. The day after the Eagles take care of business against the Minnesota Vikings and just dominate them last night, which was great. Pat, I want to go to the Comcast Business Hotline. Harley Magden joins us from my friends at Window Nation. I'm constantly telling you, Window Nation isn't making people. Harley, I'm a little concerned. The copy's got to be wrong. How can Window Nation not be taking any money from customers till 2025? I mean, we should have had this conversation offline. I don't know how you're doing it. Thank you, buddy.
We're doing what we can to help people out, right? I mean, tough times right now. We want to make it as easy as possible to, get windows no matter if it's on 1 or 100. So, but, we're here to talk about you today. We're here to, donate to this great cause, and I'm so happy that 24 years for you, buddy.
Yeah, and it's great because people like the AACR who we're working to raise money for today, they gave people like me and maybe someone's brother, someone's father, someone's friend a second chance at life, because without those researchers, I'm not here today. And I appreciate every one of them. And I always try to see what we can do to help, assist them in their cause. And AACR does it better than anybody.
I'm sure, no doubt. You came here on the day after a big Eagles win.
Yeah, that works out. It really did work out well timing-wise. I thank Window Nation wanting to get involved, though. I mean, are you coming with some money today?
We're coming hard with some money, John.
What kind of money?
What kind of money? I was going to donate 98 cents.
98 cents would be really underwhelming to me, though. Can you up it just a little?
How about $2,400?
That is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Hey, Harley, that is a great day. Thank you so much for that. And
98 cents had the Eagles lost. Confused here. 2,400.
yeah, so you said it. You cannot take it back. You said it on live radio.
Witness.
There we go. I mean, it's.
We're happy to help.
Thank you.
That you're involved in this cause, and obviously, it's just, 24 years, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you, Harley. And I appreciate that so much. And thanks, everybody at Window Nation. And hopefully there'll be many Eagle victories and maybe a 25th year to celebrate next year. I'm counting on it. So thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank everybody at the company.
No doubt, buddy. Hey, nice work you're doing, and great day to celebrate you.
Thank you, buddy.
A 2-0 start.
I appreciate it, man. That is awesome. Harley Magden joining us. Thank him from Window Nation. $2,400. I appreciate that greatly, and thank everybody who donates today. If you want to help the AACR, these are Philly folks you're helping out. These are people but they fund researchers all over the world, but they just happen to be in your backyard. So if you can do a good cause like that, and thanks, Window Nation, that is absolutely awesome.
That is terrific.
All right, let's get to our jurors. We have more jurors that contributed, and I got to tell you, Coach raves about nothing, but Coach is raving about this year's jury pool. They've been quite exceptional. Connor Thomas, let's hear from a few more of them.
Okay, let's hear from our juror, Graf.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Eagles can score that like that and play like that for 2.5 quarters, who's stopping them? I'm serious. Think about that. That was one of the best performances by post-Doug Peterson football teams we've ever seen. Ain't no one. Damn it, Eric. Sorry, Coach. I'm trying in the morning. Too tired.
I love it, Graf. Graf's very primal, isn't he? I mean, he's just very primal.
Yeah, the way he started off didn't sound Graf-like at all. Hey, y'all, this is where we're going here. But
he probably made that call at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, maybe. But I'll tell you what, Graf does make a great point. That offense last night had 10 plays of 16 yards or more.
That's incredible.
That is. That's a good number. And there's some mixes of runs in there also. But to be a big play offense like that, Graf said it's just hard to cover. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's going. And it was on full display last night. But that was a great offensive performance in the first half.
So where do we go next, Connor Thomas?
We go to Jeff.
This is Jeff, the drawer, and all I have to say after this Eagles game is, I believe in Jalen. I believe in Jalen Hurts. It did for Jody tonight that he can lead us to something special. I don't know what you're watching. Oh, let's go, Birds.
I love that. Now, his whole takeaway from that game is that's the Jalen Hurts I guess he's been waiting to see. And he's in. And he's all in. I do want to see more, but that was awesome. I mean, that was a spectacular show last night.
It's very possible we look at that as his coming out party. If he's able to build on that weekly, I mean, there's no doubt he's gotten better from last year. And, game by game. Like Bob said, baby steps to the next game, baby steps to Washington, baby steps to Jacksonville. Keep building on it, and it's going to be great.
Is that the best QB performance we've seen since the Super Bowl?
Yes.
In an Eagles
yes.
performance?
In an Eagles game, that's the best.
That was like pretty much in Nick Foles in the Super Bowl was flawless. And this was pretty damn close to being flawless.
And Wentz was horrible the next year.
Yeah, we saw Wentz.
Yeah, probably.
But we saw Wentz have that December. But even in that December, he had to dig himself out of holes.
Yeah.
With great fourth quarters and great comebacks.
He played well, but he wasn't flawless. I mean, he would have a hiccup or two. I mean, Jalen Hurts was flawless.
He was amazing. How about last one for this hour, Connor?
All right, let's hear from our juror, Karen.
Juror Karen B checking in. What a game! Dominant performance both sides of the ball. Jalen protected the ball. Good decision. Saw the field and spread the ball around. Only negative that I saw is too many offensive penalties. D was absolutely fabulous. They only allowed 7 points. Kept Jefferson and Cook in check. What can I say? Big play. 2-0, baby. Go Birds.
Now, that's a Karen you want to hear from. We like that.
No canceling that, Karen.
Yeah,
that's awesome, Karen.
Unlike most Karens, she didn't complain about a thing.
She didn't. She was cheering hard, and our jurors doing a great job, and we appreciate them very, very much. Flager and Associates, the personal injury law firm of Flager and Associates, helping us out all year long with our juror. We'll have our final jurors of the day coming up next hour. A chance to hear from some more of them. So you got a lot to do on your to-do list, but don't overlook the most important item. It's your own health. The steps you take today are your first steps to a healthier tomorrow. Call Jefferson Health at 1-800-JEFF-NOW. That's 1-800-JEFF-NOW. Now, Dennis McNeil sends me an email, and he says, I mentioned to you this after the season, and you immediately shut it down. He says, I say he is progressing like Josh Allen. And I got to tell you, as great a performance as that is, if someone's waiting to come out of the woodwork see, I told you, he's like Josh Allen. I think that is an extreme leap. Even on a great day for Jalen Hurts, I think Dennis is a little overboard with Josh Allen comparisons at this point.
Yeah, a lot of people want to do the comparison thing, and there were numbers. What was it, last week, Jamie? Wasn't his numbers comparable to somebody their first couple years in the league that became a real star quarterback, whatever. I forget who it is. But
I forget.
Yeah, you can do that, and I see it. But look, a Josh Allen with that size and that arm and all that, you just thought it was going to be there more so than you did with a Jalen Hurts, who was a second-round pick, who's a smaller guy, whose arm strength was questioned, and rightfully so. Yeah, comparing the two, maybe the numbers are similar at this point in time of both of their careers, but you understand why you can't really compare the two.
Here's the difference. Jalen Hurts, from the time he even sniffed his high school competition, he had the best coaching, the best training, the best assets at his disposal to learn the game. Josh Allen played he played podunk football. When he got to the NFL, he wasn't ready. The way that when you play at Oklahoma, the way you play at Alabama, the way you've been trained, the way your body's trained, the way you video train, the way you're coached up. Jalen Hurts had the best of the best. Josh Allen has had to learn at the NFL level. And it's no knock on Jalen. He comes from where he comes from.
One was the second-round pick, one was the top 10 pick.
Yeah, but one's out of Wyoming with nothing.
Yeah,
you couldn't name one coach who coached him.
Clearly, the NFL and the scouting departments and all that, like he was a consensus top 15 pick. Jalen Hurts was a reach in the second round. Like I hate crapping on Jalen Hurts after yesterday.
Right now,
there's no crapping on him.
No, because I think
not comparing.
I think some people will hear what I said and think I'm being critical, and it's not.
But it's no longer a reach. You can't say as a second-round pick that was a
No,
reach
but at
anymore.
the time it
But
was.
at the time, some didn't think that.
Who didn't think it was a reach?
Me.
No,
I mean,
you
I'm not
convinced
patting
yourself.
myself on my
But you're
on
the
the
first
back.
one who was
But
out
I-
on it.
Wait, yes, you
But
did
You're
think
the
it was
first
a reach.
person who said he was out.
Yeah, and I'm probably the only person in the city that supported the draft pick.
You want to talk about revisionist history? You supported the draft pick because you thought that you needed to invest in quarterbacks in the draft. But
Yeah,
you did.
it's
You said
only-
multiple times on these airwaves that it was a reach.
But people kept saying it's a reach, and I said, not if he works out. If he works out, then it's the damn brilliant draft pick.
Why'd you give up on him then?
I don't, because I didn't like what I saw. He's getting better. That's great. But drop the narrative that it was a reach. He has shown you that he can be a top 20 quarterback in this league. That is no longer a reach. The second-round draft pick is not a reach. We can drop that narrative.
And if there's an expert on reaches here, he does the reach around.
I am the reach around guy.
So, I don't know.
Now,
if
the
we can
question is, when
him.
will Jamie drop the reach of throwing in the towel on Jalen Hurts?
I need to
so
see
I
more.
ask you that one. So are you ready to do it today?
No.
So wait a minute. You can't argue both sides of this.
He is not a reach.
You were not picking
No,
up the
I see
towel
what
on
you're saying.
Jalen Hurts.
He is not a reach as a second-round draft pick anymore.
You just
That's
said he's
dead.
a top 20 quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's where it went.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. You threw in the towel because you already accepted he was a top 20 quarterback. You can't win with that though. Like you can't win.
You can win.
You can't win a Super Bowl with that. That's why you threw in the towel, correct? Or no?
Yes, because I didn't think he can be a top 10 guy in this league.
There you go.
I could be proven wrong. We'll see. I still think it's really hard to get in
So
there.
you throw in the towel on any quarterback who can't be top 10?
If you're not trying to get a top 10 quarterback, you're wasting your time.
Oh, I
in the
agree.
NFL.
You try to get the top 10 quarterback at any chance you get the opportunity.
I mean, he looked like a top 5 quarterback last night.
I mean, if Will
was
Levis is
incredible.
there and they're drafting 12 with New Orleans pick next year and Jalen Hurts, hits the skids on the second half of the season or something, and you believe that Will Levis can be a top 10 guy in this league, you probably draft him.
By the way, 8th, by the way. That pick's sitting at 8.
That's beautiful.
Wouldn't it be tasty?
It'd be really
Wouldn't it be
nice.
tasty?
Because the Eagles have 2 first-round draft picks next year. They are set up.
Well, one of them is that
incredibly
New Orleans
well.
pick, yeah.
That is why if Jalen Hurts does prove to be the guy, I think we kind of overlook this. We talk all the time about that draft pick, and if he's not, you can get a quarterback. Forget the quarterback. If he's the guy, you have 2 great picks in the first round,
Which is huge.
adding to a
because-
team that's really good right now.
Because you'll have to pay Jalen Hurts, so therefore having cheap, rookies that can contribute is massively critical.
Now, just a quick mention that the Phillies better stop the bleeding. 4-game losing streak heading into this 6-game homestand, starting with Toronto. I know Pat will not do it. He will not say, let's go Mets.
Hell no, I won't.
But the Mets did us a favor last night, Jamie. I mean, and very much like
I've
your
always
college
said,
buddies.
let's go Mets. Yeah, I love the Mets for these particular 3 games.
Connor, grab that audio, please.
Yeah, for these 3 games.
No, cut that part out.
He's saying just these 3.
Pat, it's okay to compartmentalize.
We need to.
You will never hear me say those words.
You will never,
Ever.
ever.
No, I won't ever say those words.
Would you rather see the Mets win tonight or lose?
I'm not going to be paying attention to the game.
Yeah, but the Phillies are going to need.
I'm not
going to
sit here and pretend like the Phillies. I'm not going to sit here and pretend the Phillies aren't going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter. I already told the Brewers are broken since the Josh Hader trade. But
they've won 3 of their last 3 series.
Okay.
Against good teams.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, I'm
not concerned. I'm not going to sit here and I mean, what's the magic number now?
13.
Yeah, like
with
they're
what,
all right.
16 remaining?
Yeah, they're fine.
I mean,
all right.
They go against Ross
All right.
Stripling tonight. Guy who's had a really good ERA throughout the season.
He's been really good for them.
He has been really good.
And then they go Kevin Gosman the next game.
Yep. I mean, this is a
It
tough
gets
little
dicey.
series
It
here.
does. It
All
gets a
right.
little dicey.
I'm not going to sit here like you guys are begging for me. I'm not going to say
you
it.
guys, calm down.
No,
Relax,
Bob's in my
I'm not-
corner, but I'm not going to say the words.
When you look at the box score
about
tomorrow,
that
and if you see the
trash
Brewers
team.
lose, you'll be happy. You're not going to
Will
say,
you be-
I'm
No,
happy
I'm not
that
going to
the
be
Mets
happy. I'm not going to look at the Brewers
won.
score. I'm focused on the Phillies versus the Blue Jays today. That's all I'm focused on.
Pat, there's a correlation between the two.
I understand the correlation. I'm not going to say the words. I do. But I also sit here and go, well, the Phillies are going to make the playoffs, so what do I care about what the Brewers do?
Unless
you think the Brewers are going to make the playoffs?
Remember, the Phillies have to go 13-3 the rest of the way to not concern yourself with what the Mets or the Brewers or anybody else does.
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean,
I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say the words.
That's the only way the Phillies are going to the playoffs.
You guys can sit here on-
Okay, you don't have to say the words, but you can admit that the Mets beating the Brewers is good for the Phillies.
It's a good thing.
I don't care.
You're weird.
I don't care.
You're
That's-
weird, man.
You're just
What did
figuring-
the Mets do to hurt you?
What have the Mets done to help you? Look at you over there, Mr. Mets. You're Metsed up over there.
That's not
You got your Mets
at
buddies.
all what's happening.
You got your Mets buddies. You're probably wearing Mets colors
What
somewhere.
did they do?
I
Did
love
David
Buddy
Wright come and take
Harrelson.
T-Dog out for a date?
They, you know what? They had their trash fan base show up in my stadium.
There we go.
and-
We're
and
getting to the
just
root of it.
talk.
Keep going.
Well,
And
that's
just
because
talk.
our fans don't buy the tickets.
No, I'm talking about like 10 years ago. It was frustrating.
Well, they still did.
We're getting to the root of the issue. This
There
is
it is.
good.
We got this. Dr. Phil could have
Yeah,
gotten.
it's the most annoying fan base in the world. I wish them nothing but
They
the
are.
worst.
They are
It's an
terrible.
They can
annoying
help the
fan base.
Phillies
It's an
right now.
annoying team. It's an annoying franchise.
Let's go, Pete Alonso.
I enjoy watching them
Hit
lose
some
baseball
dingers,
games.
baby.
I enjoy drinking their tears. I love watching them losing baseball games. That will
tonight.
never change for me.
Need
My
them to win
hatred of the
tonight.
Mets has never wavered.
Gotta have them win tonight.
Gotta
I'm
have
not
them
going
win
to sit here
tonight.
and pretend, oh,
Let's go,
hey,
Mets.
I got a couple Mets buddies, and we're gonna need to. No, none of that. None of that crap. I don't
fun to just make
associate.
up
I don't
stuff.
associate myself with those people, with those kind of people.
That's because you don't have any friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Except me.
That's a fact. No, we're not friends.
No,
Yes,
no,
we are.
no.
We're coworkers.
No,
we're not
I love
friends.
you. You know I
It's
love you.
done
Nope.
there. I don't even think. I don't
That's
think.
deeply disturbed.
I don't think. there's
Deeply
something-
disturbed. I hate that fan base.
There's something.
My most hated fan base in all of sports is the New York Mets. Not
I
even
gotcha.
close.
But
not
they can
even
help
close.
the Phillies.
Not even close.
Look, sometimes you have to use an enemy.
The enemy
to
of
make
your
your
enemy.
life better.
The Brewers.
And in this case, you need to use your enemy to make your life
I'm
easier.
not scared of the Brewers. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't know what to tell
I'm
you.
scared of the Phillies.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, I'm not
more
scared of the
scared of the
Brewers
Phillies.
either.
The Phillies are the ones who
You
we're
guys can
worried
sit-
about.
You guys can sit here, cowering in the corner, all scared of the Brewers and this team and that team. No,
No,
I'm
I'm scared. No, I think Jamie said it best. I'm scared of the Phillies.
I'm not scared of the
For
Phillies.
the fourth consecutive year, they're crapping their pants in the month
oh my
of
God,
September.
What? Because they lost against a much better Braves team?
Well, the problem
That's
is,
a shock.
Let's not act like the Phillies can't lose 5 or 6 in a row. We've seen it, and the Braves and the Blue Jays are good baseball teams.
There wasn't any reason.
So I'll take any help I can get right now.
They can't compete with the.
Look,
They
let's just end this. You guys can celebrate when the Mets win. All right, you guys can be all Mets
not
up.
celebrating a
I'm
Mets
gonna
win.
be over
I'm
here
celebrating a Brewers
dying
loss.
on my hill.
That's it.
Like King Leonidas in 300. All right, I might
What?
die, but I'm gonna go out on my sword.
I'll kick you in the pit.
That's fine. I'm gonna die, but I'm going
This
out
is Sparta.
Is this like, wait a minute.
the way that I was raised.
That was.
Your
that a
fandom
different movie?
confuses me immensely.
That's
I
fine.
get very
Guess what?
confused.
I don't care if
I
it
know you
confuses
don't.
you. I understand it.
Okay.
I
You're the
understand
only
my
one.
own fandom.
There you go.
I'm good over here.
I think
go.
some digital content we could publish the guide to understanding Pat Egan. That would be. I mean,
I don't think there's enough words on the
that would be.
website to hold that one.
No,
No,
but think of it though. We could make it like a 10-part series and get credit for all of them.
there we
No,
go.
we already hit our quota
click,
today.
click,
We're good.
click, and do it. So we got that going on. It is everybody celebrating the birds today, as you should.
Coffee
Celebrate.
tastes better this morning, John.
Well, everything's
Maybe
better.
it's just Pagano's coffee, but everything just tastes better.
Everything's better after a huge Eagles victory, though. And it truly is. The smiles on people's faces, the energy, and now with the I wonder, too, how much of this week will delve into Carson Wentz for the fan base. Because I don't think the fan base is as interested as I expected them to be. I haven't even heard much in his first 2 games this year.
Well, the passing leaders in the NFL, as everyone so rightly predicted, is Tua, Carson Wentz, and Joe Flacco.
Tagovailoa.
So
That's
those,
crazy.
Those are your 3 passing leaders in the league right now. So there will be some attention turned to Carson Wentz.
And Carson has been slinging the ball around.
I can't wait to see the crucial turnover he has that absolutely ruins their chances on Sunday.
You know it's coming.
When the Eagles go down to Lincoln Financial Field South and dominate them.
Yeah, Slade's going to get you an interception. He's going to put it in a box, and he's going to bring it to FanFest the next week. That's what's going to happen.
I think we need to
back
have
off,
that box.
Harden. That's our ball.
I think we need to have that box.
Yeah.
Do that. Last night was a who's who down at the
it was
stadium,
like a red
too, was
carpet
it not?
event. I mean, Quinta Brunson, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper there.
Half the Phillies.
Yeah, the Bradley
Oh.
Cooper's never there.
Bradley
I
Cooper
mean,
rocking
seriously,
a sweet
always there.
AI shirt.
Oh, was he in Jeffrey Lurie's
that was
box?
cool.
Go to Jeffrey Lurie's box?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Is it just
Free food.
I loved seeing Quinta Brunson there. I think much more the hot star that just won. Run off
Yeah, she's big
fresh off
time.
of her Emmy now.
I think the season debuts tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
We will have it on the
Great show.
DVR. I guarantee you with that. It is with Abbott Elementary. And your lovely bride stopped on by Jamie, who actually teaches at Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, shout out to SLA Bieber over in West Philly.
And it is Bieber.
Bieber. Before Justin Bieber, but yes, it's Bieber.
So was his father's school?
Devon actually went there.
What?
Before it was SLA Bieber. He went there when it was just Bieber Elementary.
Imagine if Devon taught
Slay
there.
Bieber.
It could have been like a welcome back Cotter thing.
Yeah.
If he went back there and taught. So it's great.
Solid show.
We appreciate everybody who has come out today and been donating. Chris Kleppinger.
What you say, Chris?
Melissa St. Louis. Now, what about that hockey name, Pat?
Yeah, Marty St. Louis.
He was fun to watch.
Our friend Matt Puma.
What do you say, Matt
T-Dog
Puma?
Egan.
Yeah, I made that.
T-Dog.
No, T-Dog made it.
I made it 4.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
All
she
right.
texted me and said make $25 donation.
Thank
so
you,
I said,
T-Dog. Cindy
TOC.
Moyer, Dan Baxter. Thank you, Dan.
Oh, thank
we
you,
greatly
Dan.
appreciate you, Dan, for getting involved today.
Dan had a tweet last night that made me laugh. He said, Darius Slay handing the ball to James Harden is so much cooler than Carson Wentz handing the ball to Mike Trout.
Yeah,
and I completely agree.
I don't need to see any more Mike
That
Trout
is good.
touchdown.
It was
balls.
really Zach Ertz, though, that was like
Yeah.
in love with Mike Trout
Yeah,
for
he
whatever
was.
reason. But, I laughed at that tweet. That's good
Seeing
good content.
Harden there, putting out the vibes, that was a good time.
Well, it's great. I mean, it's great to see the city all and everybody getting involved.
We got star power in this town with athletes. It's great.
Keep it on this team. Spicy. You know, they've got a little bit of a swag to them. They've got a swagger. They got a star quality. Jalen Hurts most certainly has it. The $1 million smile.
Yeah, they
He's-
believe in that locker room. You can tell.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. And let's hope we're going to continue to believe in the 9 o'clock hour. We hope you stick around. The short week that the Eagles now have to prepare for to get ready to face the Commodes down in Washington. We'll get to that, plus we'll have the verdict and more juror audio. We are live at Pagano's at One Bala Plaza. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Today we are at Pagano's, and I'm celebrating 24 years of being cancer-free, and I know that this day changed my life forever. And for you, it can change your life forever too, for a friend, for a family member, for a mom or a dad, or one day it can be for yourself. When you support the American Association for Cancer Research, you are supporting over 50,000 researchers worldwide that are relentlessly attacking this disease. And what they do is they give people longer life expectancies. When I was diagnosed in 1995, 71% chances, they said, that's when most people survive. Now, same cancers, over 22% better. Why? Because of research, because of donations like yours. And every little brick in the wall helps. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic. If you donate today, you are registered to win a trip for two to see the Birds play the Giants in New York with our friends from Philly Sports Trip. Check it out today. I'm celebrating my rebirthday of sorts. And I want you to celebrate too with the American Association for Cancer Research, because cancer research saves lives. John Kincade Show live from a very lively Pagano's at One Bala Plaza is 9 o'clock hour brought to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. And for details, go to Bagster.com. Want to thank our own Jeff Mosher for making a donation
What do you
this
say,
morning.
Mosh?
Blake Skaversky. Thank you, Blake. And Brandon Nizgoda.
Hey, Nizzy.
Also.
B Nizzy is what they call him.
I didn't realize. How do you
In the
know?
hood, he's
How do you know all these nicknames for the guy?
You meet a lot of people over the years.
They're from South Jersey.
You really did. They're all from South Jersey.
Oh,
We are
B-Nizzy.
here. We are here on. I'm celebrating 24 years cancer free today. The American Association for Cancer Research gives people second chances at life, helps people survive longer, creates great protocols that are helping people lead more productive lives with cancer. And I got to tell you, they're a great cause. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives. And if you donate today before midnight, you are automatically in the drawing to win a trip for two to be able to go see the Eagles play the Giants with Philly Sports Trips. So it's going to be an amazing trip. We look forward to seeing you. We hope that everybody will make a donation today, whether you could come here. And if you need FanFest tickets, we've got all you need here. So Big Dan showed up. My cousin Dan's here. So Chief Dan is in the house, so he can get all the FanFest tickets that he needs. And I want to say, too, it's another day in our household because it's a day that is important in our places. Happy birthday to Christina, who does not listen to the show.
Happy birthday, Christina.
Christina's birthday today.
As in your wife?
Yes, we celebrated this past
she
weekend.
listens.
So no, she really doesn't.
Yeah.
she really
Comment
doesn't.
on her
She
listening.
could no. She will listen if the girls around. When the girls at Temple, she doesn't listen. She obsesses on the Queen though. The Queen coverage, Bob. She watched every minute.
She died at 96. I think they buried her at 97 or 98.
I swear,
Something
it
like
really
that.
did drag on a little bit.
God, did
so.
that take too
But
long.
happy birthday to the love of my life, Christina. Have a great day today. We'll have some fun today, and I appreciate her very much. We are.
Congratulations on your success.
I'm going to make sure. No, I don't know if she'll be having fun, Bob.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
All right.
Let's be honest. I'm not setting expectations too high. I'm going to
I
do
don't
what
think
Jamie.
hers are high either,
I'm going to
so
do
you're
what
good.
Jamie says. It's just one game. It's just one performance. So.
This got real
I want to
uncomfortable.
know, what does the short week look like for the Eagles this week? Pat, you'd probably be good to go with on this one. What's
Yeah.
it going to look like? What are
I'm going to be stretched out. I'm going to be 5'6".
He's going to the stretch zone.
Yeah.
So you're going to get stretched
You're
out.
gonna stretch me out. I'm going to be a new man.
Going into this week, though, is the tired old sports radio storyline of this is a dangerous spot? Because the Eagles now, it's dangerous. They're going to start smelling themselves. I don't think this team has smell yourself quality to them.
I don't think so either. And also, a lot will be made because it's a short week, and they're going to be, you're going on the road. It's a bus trip. It's so much of a bus trip that Vince from Philly Sports Trips is bringing 1,200 Eagles fans. So basically, it's going to end up being kind of a home game. It's going to be a home game in a dump. So it'll be a throwback to the vet. But no, this isn't I don't think it's a trap game. I don't think it's this or that. I mean, I do think Washington might finish second in the division. I've said that for a couple months now, but I still don't see this as being a huge detriment. They're not flying to the West Coast. It's a short week, but it's a short by a couple, like 24 hours. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's early in the season. It might play into effect if it was week 9, week 10. It's not.
Bob, does it play? Does it play in your mind, the idea of the short week? I mean, you would cover it in the NBA of saying guys when they would play when a team would play 4 and 6 days or something like that, travel.
Yeah.
Does it matter when you're taking the train down? When you're, it really isn't.
I don't think so in this case. Now, look, are there concerns? Sure. You guys know me. I'm concerned about every game. And if I was Nick Sirianni or anybody there, today it's Washington. And you're concerned about what could happen or how your team might react to this great performance. Your object today and tomorrow is kind of like what you said, John. Don't let the guys get too uppity about that win last night. And I'm not saying you don't acknowledge it. You do. And you build on all those positives. But last night's game's taken away if you go down to Washington and, God forbid, have a stinker of a game and lose it. I don't think that's going to happen. I
don't think Jamie.
Don't
They don't
talk like
seem to
that.
have that. They don't seem to have that
to-
DNA. This team.
Don't talk like that.
You have to be cautious.
No, I'm not worried about anything. I don't think it has any. The only thing it does is slightly throw you off your routines. Other than that, I think they're a much better team than Washington. Washington's beat up on their defensive line, so I think the Eagles' offensive line will give Jalen all the time in the world.
And they just lost their center.
Yeah,
which you saw last night can be a problem for teams trying to defend against this Eagles defensive
Not
front.
everybody has a stud second-round pick you can just throw in there as a backup. You know?
Yeah, and the Eagles just own FedEx Field. It's kind of a second home. So maybe some short weeks, if you have to travel, like Pat said, it might be a little worse. But the only thing that slightly gives me concern is Darius Slay's hip.
Did they talk about it after the game or not?
I meant to ask Zach if he caught up with him in the locker room.
I don't see anything on it.
But my guess is if that's the case, it's probably it's a good sign.
Yeah, he was interviewed by Lisa Salters after the game, and I watched that. And she asked him about it, and he said, "It's just no big. It's no big deal at all. Just a little."
That's the only thing on a short week that maybe gives you a little concern. But other than that, I think that's overblown.
Yeah, my confidence level for next Sunday's game and all of the surroundings of it are very, very high.
Well, it's one of those things where this team. One thing Nick Sirianni, and it is to his credit, is even when they don't win, they seem prepared to play. For the most part, like you don't. This coaching staff really doesn't look incompetent. You know what I mean? Like where you'll see another young staff or whatever. This is the youngest staff in the NFL again, and that was a marvelous game plan on a primetime game against a team that is one of the favorites to make the playoffs in the NFC. Minnesota, almost everybody had them picked as a playoff team. They still very well might be, according to Zach. He believes that they will be.
I mean, last night I think you literally had a night where Shane Steichen was at his best, where Jalen Hurts was at his best, where Jonathan Gannon was at his best.
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay was really, really good. I mean, the question marks mostly that we have about this team last night became exclamation points in that game. And when that happens, you can see an offense as good as it was last night and a defense as good as it was last night because we know that they have weapons abound on this team.
Yeah, that was I think the most encouraging thing was the fact of, like, I don't know about you guys. I sat back and went, wow, this is what this offense kind of we expected it to be and what we thought it could be of pick your poison. You got Devontae Smith on one side who can kill you, and you can't really double him up because if you do, it's going to free up A.J. Brown. And Dallas Goedert actually led the team in yards. So it's a cornucopia of weapons.
Cornucopia, I like that.
I went with that.
Some may say plethora.
I'm going to turn my mic off after that one.
That's good.
Yeah, at that point, you just, I think you can't turn it off.
Well, we're on remote. I can't. Someone has to do that for me.
Someone will turn it off.
Just drop
for you.
it. I'm going to go home.
Hey, we're heading into the final stretch of the morning, and it's presented by my friends at Stretch Zone. And Stretch Zone's here today. They are in the building.
Yeah.
There are 10 locations all over the Delaware Valley, and I'm telling you this right now. You will sleep better. That's one thing I can confidently say. Since I had my stretch, and now I'm going to go in for my second one, I'm sleeping better. So it's just what I'm going to – it took – I sometimes will get pain in my hip at night. They'll stretch you out if you want to relieve sore muscles, increase flexibility, your range of motion. Book your free – and I said free, Pat – 30-minute stretch session today. And everybody can do it. You don't have to be Pat Egan to do it.
Wait, so you said your hip used to hurt?
Yeah, my right hip.
So Darius Slay should probably book a free.
Well, he should.
A free.
We get
visit
Darius
to Stretch
Slay
Zone.
into Stretch Zone.
How many times do you make people cry when you're stretching them? A lot? It happens, though. It happens.
No,
How bad did Kincade cry?
I didn't cry. No, I didn't cry.
Kincade cried when he
more of
came
a
in.
I didn't cry at all. I did not. He's not sharing.
Ow, it hurts. Don't stop. Keep going.
I did not.
I did. But that's important, though. The fact that he won't rat out the client is important.
Yes,
that is.
But
that's
wait,
the sign of a great
You
business.
have full permission to speak. I did not once cry uncle. I
can
cringed.
say
He
that.
saw it on my face.
You can say that. That's fine.
He saw it on my face, though. He knew when it was getting a little much.
There's nothing better than a great
Oh, my
stretch.
God. And they do all the work for you,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
the best part. So book your free 30-minute stretch session
awesome.
today at StretchZone.com. In Cooney's Corner, he says there's no question this was the best part of last night.
Let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Not only the best part of last night, but more specifically, the best part of the defense.
Can you get your notes together over
No,
here? You're
a mess, and it's beautiful. But
you have
no,
like
but
50
you know what?
different pages scattered everywhere.
He's a beautiful mess, is
Whatever.
what he is.
Yeah.
Birds won.
He's
Everything's great.
He's our mess.
If I ask you what the key to the Eagles' defense was last night, Jamie, I'll go with you first. What was it?
Darius Slay.
John, same thing?
Creating more pressure.
Well, going man. I should make it broader than just Slay.
I say creating pressure.
Pat?
I'll go with the pass rush.
To me, it was something that you mentioned a little bit earlier, and we didn't hit on it all that much. To me, it was 23-46.
23-46.
That's how long.
Time of possession.
Yeah, and I really think that's
a great
key.
one.
Keeping that offense off the field last night was a big key to how good the defense played against them. I'm really convinced of that. Look, we all know you get into a game, no matter offense, defensively, you get into a rhythm, no matter the sport. They couldn't get into rhythm last night because the Eagles were on the field too much. And once they did get on the field, the Eagles' defense played really, really well. The Eagles holding on to the ball as long as they did, I thought was super key to playing defense last night. Now, there's not going to be many games where you have like a 36-24 advantage in time of possession. But I thought it was very helpful last night. And something that you brought up earlier last week, John, Minnesota deferred, gave the Eagles the ball, and they go on an 8-minute drive to start the game and go up 7-0. I just think that's demoralizing.
I don't understand the obsession with deferring when it is already known that you score first, you win more than 60% of the time.
Because it's a 12% chance of stealing a possession. It's proven. That's why almost everyone does it.
I like deferring. Last night, I don't think it would have mattered.
I
think that defense would have went out and stopped him anyway.
I just, and I'm not arguing with you guys at all. I'm of the ilk. If I have a Justin Jefferson, a Dalvin Cook, and I'm going against a defense that gave up 35 points the week before, Detroit, I think I'd like to see that matchup right off the bat.
Yeah, I'd like to see us go on see them, try to play defense. See if the defense was ready for the challenge. I'm shocked. I'm shocked with it. And again, it's a pencil pushers that are pushing that because it's changed. It's changed in football. That was not the way it was even 12, 13 years ago. And now
But
it
it
is
makes
the way.
sense.
No, it really doesn't. Not when you score. Whoever scores first. When you know whoever scores first is going to win more than 60% of the time.
Be the team that scores first and get the ball in the second half. It's pretty easy.
Well, I mean, you want to, but
have faith in your
whoever
defense.
has the ball first is the team that has the
Not
best
necessarily.
chance. They have the best chance to score first.
Well, yeah, just because they got the ball doesn't mean they're guaranteed to score.
It doesn't mean you're guaranteed.
I mean, there's a reason everyone does it, because statistically you have a chance of getting an extra possession.
I just think it shouldn't be if I was a coach, I understand what you're saying, Jamin. Sometimes I would want my
this year it's
defense
0 for
on the
2
field first
with the Eagles.
But I just think there's sometimes I'd rather have the mismatch on the field first. And last night going into the game, if I was Minnesota, I would think the biggest mismatch was my offense against their defense.
This year we know it's 0 for 2. In the Eagles games, whoever defers is 0 for 2. They've lost both games.
But maybe they would have lost anyway.
We'll see how it checks out the rest of the year.
Maybe the Eagles are future Super Bowl champions.
It
Pat,
all depends on the coin.
Pat,
let's just talk crazy.
Pat,
right?
from your mouth to God's ears.
Dare to dream. Dare to dream.
From your mouth to God's ears. That's what we do.
Who says no?
No, I'm not ready to take that leap.
Oh, okay. So you won't take that leap. You'll take other leaps. You won't
Super
take that
Bowl?
one.
No, I can't. I can't make that leap yet.
Let's pin you down.
After last night,
week 2. Yeah, week 2. Let's pin you down on
No,
this.
I can't. I can't. I need to see more. I'm going to do the Jamie thing.
You got enough papers there, Bobby?
It's one game. That is a lot of paper.
So the one paper.
Because these guys keep throwing them at me.
No. The one paper was a coupon for a free stretch at Stretch Zone's first location.
It really was?
When they first opened up, they have 10
Bob
now.
still has the paper.
And Bob still has the coupon. It expired in 1995.
Well, yeah, come on by to here at Pagano's. We appreciate you coming on by today. Go and make a donation today. 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Make a donation, and you will be in the running for a trip to go see the Birds play the Giants. I think we already heard from this guy this morning, but is he's talking with us again? Is this Dante? Dante, what's going on here on the Fanatic? Dante, didn't you already submit today? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it very much, and it's a lot of people who help me get through it, so I appreciate them too.
tucked it down to Goddard. I mean, Goddard's on the field, and he got it close to the end zone, but I think if he would have hit the guard, it would have been a touchdown.
The only thing is, though, is I think they situationally caused the pressure last night. Thank you, Dante. Appreciate your fine words. I think they got situational pressure last night that was excellent.
And I thought Gannon was really good at calling blitzes at unexpected times.
Yep.
You know, just here and there, it was a surprise when he did it. I thought the defensive line still can be better. I mean,
They better be.
Yeah, you got to get pressure when you don't have to gimmick things up, and they're just not doing it right now. And it could be the slippage of Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham coming back from what he is. Sweat got you a sack last night.
Sweaty.
Yeah, Jamie's boy. But you got to see more from that defensive line naturally.
Now, you guys were watching the broadcast. I don't remember seeing an impactful Hassan Reddick.
No, I don't either.
That's 0 for 2.
No, I mean there was one play where he did have a pretty good rush on Kirk Cousins, but for the most part, you're right. I
need more.
I don't know if it's the way Gannon's using him or if it's just. It's hard for me to believe that this guy went from double-digit sacks in 2 different systems with 2 different defensive coordinators. All of a sudden, what, he forgot how to play?
Yeah, the most I saw of him last night, he was covering tight ends and wide receivers coming out,
and he wasn't paid for that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how they're using him. Whatever they're doing, it doesn't look like he's going to be a double-digit sack guy here.
No, not like this.
Hopefully it's figured out.
It is, and 2, he can get his sacks in bunches. Like, he can have games where he goes off. He's somebody. I think it's actually the number one thing I want to see this Sunday. Is that I want to see Hassan Reddick actually see something.
I wouldn't mind that.
But I'm worried that it's going to be week 8 and we're still going to be saying that.
Which,
by
the way, then I would tend to believe that's an indictment on Jonathan Gannon.
It kind of reminds me of the Sixers season a couple of years ago, and it was like every playoff game, who's your impact guy? Jamie would pick George Hill. And it wasn't. This is nothing.
Because you were waiting for it to happen.
Exactly.
It's like, well,
they
come eventually.
It's like, well, they traded for him. They traded for him. How do they not know how to use him?
We're still waiting for that game, by the way.
And it's very similar to Hassan Reddick, where like you gave him this contract. How do you not know how to use him or scheme to get him to the quarterback?
It's Golden Tate all over again.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, a little bit. I guess that's my big fear with him.
Yeah,
it's not there yet for me, but it's a big fear that
Mike Rowe can't hurt you anymore. He's gone.
There isn't he the guy that does dirty jobs?
No, that's Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah, Mike Rowe was a crappy coordinator.
Steve wants to know the chair that James Harden was sitting in last night. Those seats.
Yeah.
How do they keep them from being rained on? I said, of all the questions that came out of this, Steve, we're going to get you an answer because that is the strangest question. Is that the other seats in the stadium are not leather chairs? Those people are sitting on leather chairs.
Might be pleather.
What if it pours rain?
Well, they probably have seat covers for the fancy boys.
Yeah, but does it not get? What if it started raining during the game? They don't come and put a seat cover on it.
I'm sure it's water friendly.
I mean, so you're saying pleather?
I think.
Pat, are you suggesting Jeffrey Lurie?
The Diamond Club seats are the same way.
Do cows walk around with stains?
Well, that's I always thought was the spots.
Rain, right?
Hang out with
Is everyone on mescaline right now?
I don't know what we're talking about.
What is going on?
Hey, don't ask. Steve from Delran. It's not Mike from Delran. Steve from Delran wanted to know.
Delran, get your people in order.
He said, "What?" He goes, "Who goes to an Eagles game and sits in a leather chair?"
But you know what's beautiful?
I would if it was given to me.
You know what's beautiful is Steve from Delran thought about this because that game was so out of hand.
Put down the bomb,
right?
man.
Like you got to the point in that game where you had to think about something because the game was so in hand.
Your mind starts
and your mind starts wandering. You go, man, those chairs. Like that's
They
a
look
beautiful thing that we
Bob,
got to that point
They're
in the
leather,
Eagles game.
which is made of cow.
Go Birds.
Made of cow.
Cows don't have stains.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, my friend Norman Frederick, making a donation.
Black marks.
Megan Rosenbaum, Robert Sansalone, Derek Matanti, excuse
What did
me.
you say, Maddie?
We appreciate all of you making donations today and getting into the running for that trip to New York. I'm looking forward to being with Philly Sports Trips this weekend. 2 of 3 weekends I'll spend with Philly Sports Trips.
Last year I did the trip to D.C. with Vince.
How much fun was it?
He had a pork roll, egg, and cheese waiting for everybody boarding the bus.
What?
It was great.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Pork roll, egg, and cheese was waiting for you?
Yeah. Cooler of beer was ready. It's a great trip.
Okay.
You guys are
What
going to have a
time?
blast.
What time do you guys leave, John?
We leave at 7 a.m.
Okay.
I've made that trip without Vince, and it sucked.
I hate that drive.
You
So-
hate that drive?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Landover, Maryland sucks.
Well, I know it sucks.
But Jamie's sitting here as living proof that with Vince, it's fun.
It's going to be a great
He makes
time.
that. So you got 2 people on the show, 2 out of the 4 that say that trip is horrible to make. It's not a good experience, and yet Vince will be able to make it a good experience.
But Jamie,
Very good endorsement there, Patrick.
1,200
Thank you.
fans.
Yeah, I texted Vince. I was like, dude, you have like a 60th of the stadium coming with you.
That is going to be freaking
It's
fantastic.
kind of wild when you think about it.
It is gonna be.
No, it's very crazy.
I have a feeling it's going to be quite noisy with Eagles fans on Sunday, and we appreciate it. And Chunis, the bus captain, too. So Chunis, the bus captain.
Does he
will-
wear a C on his shirt?
He
so
gets
everybody
it.
knows?
No, he has to wear the orange,
Armband?
fluorescent.
Well, the
thing.
C's for Chunis.
The show. He's going to make sure, so it's all set.
Captain Chunis.
All right, coming up, we're gonna wrap up this Tuesday edition of the John Kincade Show. We'll give you the verdict, and we'll hear final juror audio and more. Thanks for being a part of it. And Matt Pagano is going to say hello. It's the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I know the BetPark Sports and Casino app really is looking to hook you up. How about a risk-free bet of up to $750? I have uncles who never could have dreamt that there would be an app where you could bet on your phone. And to use the promo code Kincade is just even better. You're going to get a $750 risk-free bet when you do. You have to be in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and you got to be 21 years old. What's great is when the Birds are playing well, when the Phillies are in a pennant race, when there's college football on Saturday, you want to get in on the action. And there's so many ways that you can. They've got all kinds of creative boosts. Every single Saturday, you get odds boosts that allow you to bet all the college football you wish, and the multi-game parlays are absolutely fantastic. Why don't you get in on the action with the BetParks app? I want you to download it now. Go to betparks.com in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Download it. You got to be 21 years old. If you have a gambling problem, I implore you to please call 1-800-GAMBLER. which is like hopping this morning. Live here at One Bala Plaza. Do not put in One Bala Avenue. They are already like turning people away, saying, do not come here. They don't want you there. They want you here.
They're coming in going, where's Pat Egan? And they're like, no, he's
and
not
nobody
here.
has met.
that.
I mean,
Not
it's
far
not
and
one
wide.
person.
Nobody has said that.
We are celebrating today. I'm celebrating 24 years cancer-free, and I'm celebrating my association with the American Association for Cancer Research, trying to raise money for them. They do spectacular work, and so many people have been touched by cancer in their lives. And the researchers that go and do the study that allow people to survive. It's amazing work that they do, and we greatly appreciate them. And the AACR supports their work, over 50,000 of them worldwide. And so if you can make a donation today, you can be in the hopper for a trip to New York to go see the birds. Well, it's actually a trip to New Jersey. Am I not, am I doing something incorrect there? It's
a trip to the swamp in Jersey.
Go to a swamp.
You're going to see the New Jersey Giants.
The Rizzutos are here.
Yeah, they are.
It is great. So
Not
it's
Phil.
No, it's not Phil.
The better Rizzuto, Vince.
It's not Phil for the money store. No, it's Vince Rizzuto. No, it's lovely wife is even more important. But we appreciate them and Philly Sports Trips for giving a great trip today. So you want to get registered, you have until midnight to get registered for that giveaway. So go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR to be able to do that. Let's get to our last juror audio. Connor Thomas, we got a couple more, right?
We do. We got 2 more.
Okay, let's get to it. Who are we going to do first?
First, we're going to talk to our jury.
This is Noah. What a dominant performance by the Birds tonight. I have to start with the defense. John, you called it. They were flying around out there. Big play. What can you say? He had himself a day. I also thought this was probably the best game of Jalen Hurts' career. Not just because of his numbers, but he looked in complete control of the whole game. He showed arm strength, timing, anticipation, accuracy, everything we're looking for. I'm not quite believing him just yet, but I think he may have finally started to convert me tonight. We're 2-0, baby. Go Birds!
Noah can rhyme like that, Bob, because he went
poem in there.
Because Noah went to Penn.
We met Noah last night.
we met Noah last night.
Beer hall.
Yeah.
We did meet Noah.
Yes,
he went to
we
Penn.
did.
So he knows how to rhyme. He learned. He said that it cost him like $500,000.
Rhyming 101.
But he had rhyming, which works.
He was a good guy.
Noah the jury was great.
Yeah.
I liked his bride better, but I mean, it's got to be just about to be honest.
Jesus, all right, Fletcher Cox,
But it was
relax
nice.
over there.
It was
My
great.
God,
So,
dude.
Noah, that was great stuff, though, and I did. I said it before. He was feeling very anxious about the game. I said I feel great about it, and I thought the defense was going to be the difference, because Kansas, what the Vikings just do, they tend to wilt out of that dome. I didn't think it was psychic. It was just
Yeah, Kirk Cousins was just
good.
trash bag juice last night.
Not
He was
good.
throwing off the back foot, doing the old, I'm just going to throw it up to get rid of it.
Well, whenever pressure came up the middle, he was done.
Yeah, it was great.
And when they needed a catch, they just never got it. You know, there was a couple
There was
of
a couple
times,
drops.
maybe 3 times where it was like first down pass, should
Drop.
have had it off the hands, and that prevented them from getting any momentum going on offense.
Let's get the final juror audio of the day. Connor, who we got?
We've got Stefano, or as Pat would call him, Stefano.
Stefano Demara.
Jalen Hurts like the best tackle from him. I feel like you got to be a lot better in the second half of the game. But I feel like overall how they move the ball, they're 2-0 for the first time in 6 years. I think you got to feel really good heading into this game.
Okay, when they says the defense answered the call, was the defensive did the defensive players just have a better game, or when they were up by 17 in the second half, just like last week, was the plan better?
Because it is a great question.
They were soft. They were soft last week, up 17 in the third quarter, and they ended up making it a 4-quarter game. Last night they didn't get soft.
I think they were pissed about how last week ended. I also think they set a great tone to start the game. I mean, going 3 and out and forcing a 4th down by Darius Slay swatting that ball down from Justin Jefferson got everybody juiced. You know, it wasn't like he swatted the ball down from Adam Thielen or KJ. He swatted the ball down from the guy that we were all terrified of. And it really, I felt like it set a tone for the defense, for the crowd. So I think it was a combination of things. But the scheme was better.
Yeah,
it seemed to be better.
I think Jonathan Gannon trusted his guys last night to survive in one-on-one coverage. He realized finally that Darius Slay is one of the best cornerbacks in the world, and maybe I can give him a little man-on-man responsibility against one of the best wide receivers in the league, and it can change the entire game plan. You know, you didn't give Kirk Cousins that 2.4 seconds to just dink and dunk you to death. You stuck him at the line. You switched to a decent amount of man coverage, and it paid huge dividends for the defense last night. It allows more time to get to the quarterback, to pressure him into those back foot throws. It was about damn time, frankly, that he did that because he's got really good cornerbacks. Use them.
I hate the soft defense when you're up by 3 scores.
Me too.
I don't understand how you build up a lead and then say, well, the thing to do now is to totally change our game plan. I've never understood it, and it's not just Jonathan Gannon.
No.
And it is something that I'm critical of. It seems like it's across the NFL. It's, again, somebody said this is what you do, so you just do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't want to give up a touchdown in 30 seconds, but you're okay with giving up a touchdown in about 3 or 4 minutes.
And the defense isn't like that.
Yeah, no, they don't. No, not at all. You can't take things away from guys. Like, John, we were talking a couple weeks ago, I believe, about the word cautious. I don't like that word in sports. I really don't. And when we see it, prevent defenses, that's cautiousness to me, and it rarely seems to work.
And the weird thing is Bob, I actually, in my life, I like cautious.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
but in
fine.
sports, I don't.
No.
Yeah,
but in sports.
If Doug Peterson taught us anything, it's put your foot on their throat and keep going.
Right. Be aggressive.
Yeah, just don't relent. I mean, if he had any other mindset in the Super Bowl,
They lose.
They lose that game.
Sister Eileen in the 5th grade was the one that taught me that.
She taught you that?
She said, if you're winning a basketball game, you put your foot on their throats, she said.
Sister Eileen was putting her foot on people's throats?
I'll tell you what, she was an unbelievable basketball player.
Even Jim Schwartz in the Super Bowl was like, I'm going to send the blitz because I'm either going to get the ball for you or I'm going to fluster them. And, like, that aggressive nature, I think it just seemed like the secondary especially really had fun last night. You know, I mean, they showed the graphic of how much Justin Jefferson moved around the field. So it wasn't just Darius Slay, but James Bradbury, I thought, had a really underrated game.
Yeah.
Avonte Maddox's interception was insane. And, you know, it was one after the other of like, all right, well, he just stopped you. You're not going to get off on me.
Avonte Maddox looks very, very comfortable.
Yeah, and
with Bradbury and Slay back there, it allows them to excel a little bit.
Their secondary's good.
And the way this team's built, it's not just Darius Slay is your only playmaker. They have playmakers on defense now, and I think one of them that's going to shine bright throughout the year and is going to prove to be a playmaker is Kaiser White. I think he's going to do a lot of good things this year. So with Slay, with Maddox, maybe with Bradbury, you're going to have a lot of playmakers on that defensive side of the ball, and you just didn't have that at all last year.
Even when Zach McPherson got in.
I'll tell you, he's been great on special teams, too.
He had the quote of the postgame. He said, Darius Slay's one of the best cornerbacks in the world, and he put Justin Jefferson in the car seat tonight.
He did.
He called that man a baby.
Got his
ass.
Just roasted him.
One of the best receivers in the league. He said, get in that car seat.
He's not recovering from that. His career is done.
Justin Jefferson might as well retire.
You may never see him again.
Zach McPherson bodied him.
I don't know who Minnesota plays next.
Take a passy.
But Justin Jefferson, can I bet the overs on everything right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the next secondary that's facing him.
Because that was a frustrating night for him.
We got the Byron Maxwell meme from him on the bench when he was just looking around going like, man, what do I have to do here?
Like, what happened tonight?
Man, I did not see this going the way I thought it was going to go.
I mean, I thought it was going to go a different way, too.
I think we all did.
Yeah, and he was sitting there looking lost.
He goes against the Lions next week.
Oh, my gosh.
At home.
And there's going to be plays to be made.
And that defense has played really well, too.
Hey, Jamie, Matt brings up a point in an email here that like backs up to yours about the fact that the way the Eagles approach on defense, the way that they took the approach last night, that maybe it is a philosophy change as far as trust.
It's definitely a philosophy thing. I've been begging Jonathan Gannon to jam a receiver at the line of scrimmage.
So why do you think he didn't? Because he
year,
obviously did.
Last year was probably
he didn't have Bradbury. He didn't have
it was probably Anthony Harris, Steven Nelson related. Maybe Hassan Reddick can make. Hassan's been dropping into coverage a little bit too much for my liking. Maybe it was a combination of a lot of things. This year he's got players. There's no more excuses, man. Like, get up there, trust your cornerbacks to go one-on-one and win.
And hopefully, if he had any doubts, this game puts that to rest, right? I mean, you're going up against Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the league.
And secondaries help sacks.
Yeah,
Sacks help secondaries. You have to help your lack of pass rush out by pressing these guys. And he showed last night they can do it versus the best in the league.
We said it after week 1. Like,
so don't stop.
You went out and invested so heavily in your defense, and yet you played so conservative in week 1 as if you had the same defense as last year. It really didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen now Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson. Look, St. Brown had a great touchdown catch, but Darius Slay was in perfect position. You just kind of live with that. You've seen them hold their own versus 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league currently. So trust them now to do it against Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson, and keep doing this because it's going to give your pass rush a chance to actually sack the quarterback.
You think dome teams, I mean, the numbers are there. That team wilts outside of a dome when they play a good team, and they are monsters at home. I never liked – I wouldn't want my team to play in a dome.
Well, old Poopy Pants cousin is now 2-10 on Monday Night Football.
I mean, he really does.
You know the Eagles were 0-5 in their previous 5 games prime time before last night?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It kind of felt like a primetime skid, so that makes sense.
It came across a crawl that I didn't know until I saw it last night. But nice to end that skid, and especially the way they did it.
Important. That's greatly important that they take care of that. Hey, the New Jersey Transit Police Department reminds you that we all need to work together to keep our transit system safe. So report suspicious activity to 1-888-TIPS-NJT or text your report to NJTPD.
We call that acceptable narking.
That is is that what the official term is?
Yes.
Okay.
I got acceptable narking.
Is that? I mean, just so we get that term out there, I think that's really important. You know, this is not the man who the place is named after, but he's legacy of the name of the place is named after. Is that fair? Or,
Well, I am Matt Pagano.
I know, but I mean, is that
Is he
fair?
making this too complicated?
I think so, Bob.
I mean, come on now.
It's not the first time he's made something
The
too
Pagano
complicated.
legacy,
John.
the name and the legacy in this town is
Yeah, but I'm
huge.
the man.
You're the man?
I'm
You
the
are
man.
the man. You are the
I put
man.
Paganos on the map.
You are on the map. I'll tell you this much. Everybody loves it.
Thank you.
Everybody loves
I
it.
got to tell you guys, I'm so humbled. Jamie, great to see everybody.
What's up, buddy?
I'm so humbled and appreciative of you guys picking Paganos to celebrate this amazing occasion.
And I'll tell you this
I
much.
promised myself I wouldn't get emotional, but really, it means a lot to me.
Well, the
Thank you.
cancer charity does.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to everybody, and that's why it's one of the universal things everybody can get behind, because we all hate cancer. Everybody's been affected by it, and screw it, and hopefully one day we're going to beat its ass, and this is a great step towards that.
Definitely. You know, and I lost my mom and dad to cancer, so I really appreciate being a part of today. So I was a little upset when Window Nation stole my thunder because I was excited when I came up with the idea of $100 for every year you've been cancer-free, and I wrote the check last night. So I decided to go 101.
Yeah!
Oh, there you go.
For every year. I will not be defeated.
Well, much like the Pagano's cuisine.
Exactly.
And atmosphere, you will not be defeated.
Can't be beat.
Absolutely. So thank you so
See,
much.
you got to go after. That is fantastic, man. I really appreciate that so much. And the AACR, a lot of people don't even realize, much like Pagano's is Philadelphia, the AACR is Philadelphia,
Yes.
based right here. So
Absolutely.
even though people are benefiting in multi-countries and all the researchers out there, over 50,000 of them benefit by the work, it's happening right here in our backyard where the fundraising goes on and everything.
And I just want you to know that I am so proud to be part of the family of 97.5 The Fanatic. And I'll always be here for you guys.
You are the
so,
best.
That is
thank
absolutely
you. And
awesome.
You're the reason I'm here in Bala.
Really?
Yes. You were absolutely the number one reason we came to Bala Kimwood was for The Fanatic. So we're excited to be here.
I was when they told us we were doing the show from Pagano's. I put it in my daily planner.
He was
I put
waiting.
2001 market.
Oh, that's great,
All right,
Bob.
so I was
Bob, we go way back, Bob.
Yes.
As of Sunday, I was going down there this morning to do the show until Monday. John said to me, "No, we're right downstairs."
And, you know, I'll never forget the Eagles parade and the celebration we had at
yeah.
Pagano's with The Fanatic. and I can't wait to do that again this year.
So it is going to be this year. After last night, you're ready to put it in the books?
Absolutely.
Schedule it
After
now?
we win the Super Bowl, there will be a party at Pagano's with the Fanatic.
Put it
Put
on
it in
the
the books.
calendar and put it on the books.
I'll tell my saleswoman Dina to put it on the books.
We were also at Pagano's for another victory parade.
What was that?
Remember Villanova?
Oh, that's right.
And
I forgot.
We did a show there
That's
that morning.
Right. I forgot.
You guys weren't invited. But we had a lot of fun.
Somebody was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Pat and I may
Missed
call
it.
in sick if that happens again. Would it, Pat? The Temple. How about when Temple
I'll
wins?
come. I'll come to Pagano's anytime.
Absolutely,
How about when Temple
Bob.
wins?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, man. We love Pagano's.
Love you
we love it.
guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're the best,
You're
man.
awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you
buddy.
so much. Wow. That is awesome. Pagano's taking it to the rack. That is awesome. Someone else goes
That's the best.
100 a year? We'll go 101.
Best food in Ballard Kinwood.
Absolutely. Come on by. And you don't have to come on by just this morning. You can check it on out at because it's right here in our building at any time. We love Pagano's, and we appreciate them very, very much. We used to, the Pagano's, Bob, if you remember or you do not remember, the Pagano's at 38th and Walnut.
Yeah?
Where you had to go down the stairs into the nightclub. Pagano's had the nightclub at 38th and Walnut.
Don't know if
back
I ever,
in the day. If you ever went
got
on
there.
to Penn's campus, you never wound
some
over.
chicken cutlet and some sexiness in the club?
No, it's not. It wasn't a
Oh,
sexiness in the
yes.
club.
Sounds like
Yes.
I don't think that was what it was, Jamie.
Downstairs at the club?
It was a bunch of college.
Get a little pastrami, one of the
Yeah,
sensual meats.
It's the most sensual of the cured
Yes.
meats.
It was a bunch of college people having fun.
Yeah, I bet they were.
It was
Slapping pastrami around.
Absolutely.
Remember, there wasn't any. There
Is
wasn't
that a
too
hoagie
much.
in your pants? Or you just happy to see me?
There wasn't a ton of that going on. I wouldn't say.
Uh-huh.
but-
Bobby
Hey,
knows. Bobby knows what's up.
We know that Big Play Slay himself will be at FanFest. And that is going to be absolutely awesome coming up on October the 1st. If you're going to be at FanFest and you have your tickets, you can come on by at Pagano, still grab them until the top of the hour. If not, I would suggest that you be one of the first 5 callers to 215-263-0975. Grab yourself a pair of FanFest tickets so we see you out there on October the 1st. It is 10 days out, and Coach is not a mental case about FanFest. No.
He's not
Those are different.
anymore
No,
of a
because
mental case.
Coach is not a mental case because of FanFest.
Okay.
He's a mental case.
Coach is a mental case, but not because of FanFest.
That's fair.
It's because of something that happened to him along the way, which we cannot diagnose.
Oh, big possum over there.
The Big Possum has been people coming on by to see Big Possum this
Well,
morning.
Slay backed up his choice last night, so he's
What
on
a
cloud
great
9
move
right now.
He knew. I mean,
Darius Slay wanted to give his first interception ball to Big Possum, but he couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So he had to settle for James Harden.
Okay, so
He thought BP would be in attendance.
do you think if we asked
Where's the big O?
Slay to show up with a gift wrapped Carson Wentz interception, that'd be nice.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really, really nice. You know Carson's going to be doing giveaways.
Oh, absolutely. He loves the Eagles. He'll definitely do it.
You get a football, and you get a football.
He's going to put Oprah and Bernie Sanders to shame. I mean, he's going to be giving stuff away.
Who knew when he yelled "Kill Kill" he meant his career?
That's just terrible.
Too soon.
He's throwing it around. I mean,
No, he's second in the
slinging
league,
it.
second in the league in yards or whatever it is.
We want to thank all of our jurors who appeared today, thanks to the personal injury law firm of Flager and Associates, who cares, prepare, and win. FlagerLaw.com, and we thank them so much for being a part of our jurors' contribution today. We've got a good jury seated for 2022. Pat's excited to leave. I mean, he wants to get over and get some. What are you trying to get some food?
Yeah.
Trying to get heads up on some food or
I'm a
anything
growing
like
boy,
that?
Johnny. I'm a growing boy.
I mean, Pagano's would be a great place to hang out, though, if you're looking to grow.
It's on Joe Z too.
Joe Z
he said breakfast for
It is.
everybody.
It's all on you on Joe Z.
Joe Z's
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it just says orange whip, 3 orange whips. He's got it all
He
set
still
up.
works here?
Joe Z's still here. Yes, that was those allegations were untrue.
Oh, okay.
They weren't able to be proven, so he is back. He's back on the job. He was reinstated.
Wow. If that video ever sees the light of day, he is done.
We love everybody who came out to Pagano's today. We love everybody who's been donating online. And remember, until midnight, You can donate to get in the is it a Hopper, Pat? You scoffed at Hopper. What would you say?
No, I feel like Hopper's such a radio. We'll put you in the Hopper.
That's a Michael Barkanism.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, he was a big Hopper guy.
My glasses are not blue.
was early.
Put you in the
Last
running.
time I looked, my glasses aren't blue.
Put you in the running or
whatever. It puts you in the running to win a trip with Philly Sports Trips to New York, which is going to be great. If you're heading there this week on the buses, we'll be having a great time Sunday morning. We will bring the noise down there. So thank you, everybody who participated today in our chance to raise some funds for the American Association for Cancer Research. We try to do it every single day here at The Fanatic, but we appreciate everybody who donates, and you have till midnight tonight to get in on the action. Donate at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Like our friends, our great, generous partners, Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Dealers, Window Nation, All Seasons Comfort Control, the Davis CPA Group, and H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. And, of course, Matt Pagano and the crew and Window Nation for their charity today. We love you. We thank you. And it's a big Eagles victory, so you know Cuz is going to be grunting and cheering and so excited.
Nah, I don't think he'll be excited.
I think the best show ever is going to be nuts, too. All day long. Don't turn it from The Fanatic. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a most wonderful day, everybody out there in the audience. One last time, check it on out. Make that donation today to the American Association for Cancer Research. I know that there are almost, and it's a scary, scary thought, the amount of people in this country that are touched by cancer, whether it's your parents, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a child. You want to make sure that you donate to the AACR because the AACR makes sure that people survive. There are almost, it's a scary thought, there are almost 17 million people like me out there, people who have survived cancer. Why? They survive because of the hard work of the researchers that go on out there and they do all the grunt work. They figure out new protocols. They find ways to give you more productive lives. And the American Association for Cancer Research is a great steward of your funds. They're going to make sure that it's not going to glitzy offices and crystal chandeliers. They're going to make sure they take great care of you. Check it on out today. Make a donation today, please. 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. Our show always tells you cancer research saves lives. Thank you.
Good job, Connor.